I guess it's time. Welcome. Order 42. Back at it. How's it going? I'm Rob. This is Order 42. And we're doing the thing. So, hi. How's it going? How's everybody doing? Everybody doing okay? Look, sorry. Sorry for last week. But man, um nothing serious or anything like that. Don't you worry. Okay? But the fact is, sometimes, look, I got Crohn's. I have the Crohn's, and sometimes I just can't. I you know it's literally like if real life is volume control, right? You're 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 doing your thing, you're living your life, and you feel good. You're at 10. Well, with Crohn's disease, what happens is there's some days when I just feel like crap. So you're down at like a 4 or a 3, you know? And on last Tuesday, I was like at a 4. And I'm just like, it's weird too because you're not tired. You're just, ugh, you know? So sorry about that. So sorry we missed last week. We missed the post Super Bowl trailers talk and all that. So I apologize, but I hope everybody's doing okay. I've had a much better time since then. Wraith, welcome, sir. Good to see you. But thank you. I should be. I definitely should be sorry. But yeah. Johnny Wingate, how's it going? Good to see you. Good to see you here. But yeah, man, the last couple of weeks has really just been me. I've been reading a lot. I've been doing some other stuff. Um, basically, what happened was, um, I changed some things in the old living room setup. Right, got my OLED TV, had my surround sound, all that. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So the first thing I did out of nowhere, I don't know how I figured this out, but I found out that my 4K Blu-ray player, it's a Sony. Part of the reason that I bought it was because it was inexpensive. Really, that's what it came down to. I think it was like $140 or something like that. And this was, a while ago. Tobias Dalton, to live is to fight is to live. Techno Viking 2023. Well, welcome. Thank you for that. I'm not sure what that's. I'm not sure what that's related in relation to, but hey, thank you. It's inspiring. I'm reading Force Unleashed 2 right now. Reading. Interesting. And Bucho. Bucho's here. By the way, Bucho, I know that you've been busy. You've been busy doing your thing, but we're trying to do the whole, and this is for everyone else too. We're planning on doing a Discord hangout this weekend, Friday night, which will be around 7-8 p.m. Central Time. I think that's what we had talked about. Originally, it was going to be Saturday afternoon, but I've got plans. My niece will be here, and my wife's off this week, so we've been doing a lot of stuff, a lot of shopping, finding stuff to better the house, all that kind of thing. So that's what we've been doing. But if you want to, no pressure. But this weekend, if you join the Discord, which, if I don't understand why my keyboard has been weird lately. But there you go. Nightbot? There you go, Nightbot. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, join the Discord if you want. If you want, we're gonna hang out Friday night, and it'll just be us chilling, having fun, talking about whatever. So if you want to, again, 7-8 p.m. Central Time on Friday. We'll get all the details together. But if you want, join the Discord, and then you'll know. You'll find out. And welcome, Cosma. Good to see you. Is Doug Adams here? I don't think so. Douglas Adams is passed, is he not? But yes, in a way, Doug Adams is always here. That is true. That is true. Surprised to see that they have a novelization of the video game. Well, see, I didn't know that. I didn't even know that was a thing. But yeah. And Carbonite is here as well. Welcome, Carbonite. Again, I mean, look, no pressure. Friday night, we're going to be doing the thing in the Discord. I should get less busy and be more on the scene for all manner of Discord malarkey in a couple of weeks. Well, I want to do like a Saturday show, like a Saturday afternoon show, but it has to be a weekend when I don't have a lot of things going on. And unfortunately, this weekend, I have some things going on. But anyway, back to my Blu-ray player, okay? So I found out that this 4K Blu-ray player supports Super Audio CD. I didn't know that, or I didn't realize that, or maybe I did and I just forgot. But I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go get in the closet and see if I can find my 9 Inch Nails Super Audio CD. Now, the deluxe edition of The Downward Spiral, which comes with 2 discs. So there's two discs. But look, the first disc, remixed and remastered in high resolution stereo and 5.1 surround sound. Now, I think what you could do when this came out, there was a Super Audio CD version, and then I think a Blu-ray audio version. And, or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but I just remembered that I wanted the Super Audio CD version because what's cool is it's only 2 discs. In the first disc, they're both Super Audio CD, but the first one is in 5.1. So I throw it in. And wow, I listened to the whole thing, and I've never heard it quite like this before. I mean, I've heard all kinds of freaking remixes and stuff like that, all kinds of different, people like online for the longest time. There was a website called remix.nin.com where you could go in there and download the tracks from a bunch of different 9 Inch Nails songs, all the mastered tracks. And then you could make your own remix. It was very, very cool. And I've got probably 50 remixes that I downloaded from there. And those have become like some of my favorite versions of the songs that I love to listen to. But I'd never heard it in 5.1. So hearing it in 5.1 was like, wow, this is really, really cool. Then my wife and I were trying to think of something that we could do for my dad. This is a separate story. So yes, was able to listen to it. This is still available to purchase, by the way. So if you have a 4K Blu-ray player, chances are it's going to support Super Audio CD. Now, the PlayStation 5 doesn't do it. The PlayStation 4 doesn't do it. The original fat PS3 did Super Audio CD. But yeah. My fat PS3 died, I think, and I ended up getting a new one, and of course the new one didn't support it. But this is, I mean, if you're a fan of 9 Inch Nails and the Downward Spiral, this is a pretty cool set because there you go. So the 2 discs, and the second disc is just the remixes, B-sides, demos, and non-album tracks, but also in Super Audio CD, which is really, really cool. Very, very cool. Got to listen to it. Enjoyed myself. I really did. It was cool. So anyway, back to my dad. Trying to figure out a gift that we could get for my dad. Something that wasn't going to break the bank, but something that would add, I mean, you just try to figure out, what do you get somebody that basically can buy anything they want? You know what I mean? It's not like my dad is rich or anything like that, but he's got he's doing okay. He's doing okay. So what happened is when we bought my OLED TV, he ended up getting my previous TV. He was very happy. But the thing is, he doesn't have any sort of surround sound system in his house. So I was thinking, what could we get him that might make that better? I started doing research. I did, and this is one of the things that I did when I wasn't streaming. I was watching reviews and reading, what people thought about different like the sound bars and stuff like that. I got to tell you, I came across a bunch of them, all the way from $100 all the way up to like $3,000, and I'm like, there's no way I'm buying my dad a $3,000 soundbar. So I'm looking and looking, and I found one that I was like, this is a good. And I went to April and was like, what do you think? It's this much money. What do you think? She's like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Ended up, it was on sale. So I got it for $50 less, got it. And what's weird is, and this is really strange, but I bought it, and this is, a while back, right? I bought it, came in through Amazon, right? But the day before it came in, my dad calls me and he says, hey, I got a question for you. I was like, what? And he said, we were over at so-and-so's house and they had a sound bar. What do you think about that? Do you think maybe I could because he's got one of those big, the UE booms, the Bluetooth speakers, which are really, really nice, by the way. But he got one of the big ones when they were on sale a couple of years back. He said, do you think I could hook that up to the TV and all that stuff? And I said, Dad, you have some great questions here, but just hold off. Because I was thinking, dude, the thing's coming in tomorrow, the next day. So anyway, I go over there and I set it up. Everything's running great, right? And he's really, really happy with it. And so that's one of those things that we just decided to do for my dad. Of course, we're doing some stuff for April's parents as well, getting them upgraded to some things, and yeah, we're helping out, and a little bit of gift giving. You know what I'm saying? Little post. I mean, we're in February, but you know what I mean. So it was pretty cool, and yeah, Closer never did sound so good. I mean, it was wow. Nin fan edits. Yeah, that's basically what they were. And then they're awesome. They're really, really good. Some of them are like really bad, like as bad as you could imagine. And then some of them are like, I might like this better than the original song. Some of them are that good. And then some of them completely change the song. Make one like there's the song Discipline, which I don't know if you've heard the song Discipline. It's off of The Slip, which was was that the one that was free? I think that one was a free album. Like you could just download it. But the song Discipline is basically about a guy who can't control himself when his girl is around. So like, I need your discipline. I need your help. Once I start, I can't stop. That kind of thing, right? Discipline. And it's this kind of poppy, energetic song. The remix, one of my favorite ones, it makes it sound really sad. And it's like, it's really interesting. So anyway, soundbar, get your dad a salad bar. I mean, I guess it could. Jeff. No. But what was strange was, in this whole soundbar thing, I started reading. I mean, I was reading all about, what is it? The eARC function on your TV, it'll send audio to and from, right? Because basically you can have it set up a couple of different ways. You can have it set up where your TV gets all the inputs and then sends the audio out through the soundbar, which is how we did it for my dad. And then sometimes, like, if you only have a couple of different inputs, you can plug them in the back of the soundbar and then just send the video to the TV, right? Magnus, what's going on? So yeah, there was a couple of different ways to do it, but I was, like I said, reading about the technology and all this stuff. And I read something about optical cables, which is how I had my everything set up, because the receiver that I bought in 2010, the receiver doesn't support 4K 60, 4K 120, doesn't support HDR, doesn't support 3D, doesn't support anything past 2010. So it's basic 5.1 setup, right? So the way that I had it hooked up before is everything went into the receiver and then you had one out to the TV. Well, recently, when we got this new TV, and prior to that, we had everything coming into the TV, and then split. The audio would just be sent via the optical audio cable. Here's what I found out. The optical audio cable doesn't support some of the higher end or the newer technologies when it comes to sound. Doesn't support True HD. Doesn't support Dolby Atmos. Doesn't support all the things that I was kind of like, I felt like I was missing out on. On top of that, because of the way that things like the Switch is the best example, because the Switch just will not work unless you have it hooked directly into a receiver. If you hook it up to a TV and then try to send that signal to the receiver, it won't transmit 5.1. So it's one of those weird things where I was like, man, I really want an updated receiver. But then it got even, like I said, it got even worse when the optical audio thing. And it was like, so I've been missing out. I feel like I've been missing out on some of these newer technologies, because my speakers can totally support that stuff, but they don't, the technology's not there. So I bought a new receiver. I did a little upgrade. Did a little upgrade. And it wasn't that expensive. It was $500, which my previous one was $900. So a newer one that does just as much, if not more, is almost half the price. So I was like, cool. So got all my stuff hooked up. And the way that, I don't know if you, do you guys have surround sound? I'm curious. Does anybody have surround sound hooked up to their stuff? Before we move on. Did I like The Last of Us Let's Play as much as the TV show? Magnus, I actually saw your message, but I was getting ready for the show, so I'm sorry, I didn't reply to you. You were asking something about, am I going to watch it again? No, probably not. I probably won't. But you're talking about the Let's Play for Last of Us. It's weird how, to me, they're two separate things, but they also, like, I've heard a lot of people that played the game are also enjoying the show, because they almost work in concert together. They're almost like extended cutscenes in a way that on the show. There are some differences, but for the most part, they work together, like in concert together. I don't think I'll ever watch the Let's Play again. I own The Last of Us. I might end up playing it at some point. But to answer your question from earlier, no, I probably won't watch the Let's Play again. I'll probably just watch the show and judge the show on its own merit. Only a sound bar, not true surround sound. Carbonite says no surround sound. I don't have surround sound. Phil, welcome, Phil. The sound bar does make a world of difference all on its own. That is absolutely true. It's so much better than regular speakers, the TV speakers, because there's only so much you can do, especially with the thinner bezels and all that stuff. But anyway, yeah, I totally get it, because for the longest time I didn't have surround sound either. And I think I explained what happened there. We had a big road trip planned, April and I, and got off of work, all that kind of stuff. And April was basically handed this huge project and said, this is due next week. And it's not like we had spent any money yet. And April said, well, why don't you go to Best Buy and see if we can find a surround sound option for us? So I started doing research and going to Best Buy and all that stuff. And this was, like I said, 13 years ago, 12 years ago. And then Jinzu Games is here as well. Welcome. So yeah, we ended up getting a pretty, I mean, the speakers are, I mean, they're beautiful. They're so awesome. They're definitive technology towers. And the sound that comes out of these things are amazing. Had the surround sound put in the ceiling and got a really nice center channel, all that stuff. We were very, very happy. Dr. Mad Studio, welcome. Good to see you, sir. Or ma'am, I shouldn't really. Women can be doctors too, but welcome. So anyway, the whole thing was, with this situation, got it all hooked up, and the setup is completely different than the previous one. It was still a Denon. It's a Denon receiver. And the way that the original one worked is it comes with a little microphone. And you stick the microphone like basically in between, like basically in the center of your viewing area. And what it does is it plays signals and it records the signals and it figures out how to set the levels on the speakers. And then based on that, it'll set up some EQ for it to try to optimize the surround sound. Only one. Put it in the center. This one, what it does is it says, we want to do this 6 times. So it puts it in the center, right? Like right in front of the TV, in the center, where you're going to be sitting. Then it puts one to the left, one to the right, then up and to the left, up and to the middle, and up and to the right. So instead of, I wish I had a picture, but it basically gives the system a way to measure all of these, the way that it bounces off the walls, all that sort of thing. And let me tell you, when it was done and I put in, anybody have a guess for what movie I put in to test the surround sound? Does anybody have a guess? And Magnus, you said you don't like surround sound. It gives you a headache. Interesting. So you don't like going to the theater. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Blade Runner. I mean, great. Ghostbusters. Bustin'. No. T2. Familian. No. Adventures in Game Chasing. I actually don't have a 5.1 copy of that right now. Porn. Loud porn. No. I put in basically the chase scene from The Dark Knight, because you're not only getting the sound of like whatever gun he's shooting at the, you know what I'm you're talking about The Dark Knight, right? In under the highway, right? All that stuff. When he's shooting the what do you call it? The some sort of automatic pistol. Why not watch the whole movie? Well, because I had other things to do and it was 10 o'clock at night and I can't play loud surround sound when my wife's trying to sleep. So there you go. Currently listening to Star Wars Shatterpoint, which is now part of Legends. I think I actually have the audiobook back there for that, or maybe not. The armored car, yes. But it's a pistol he shoots. And what it does is the sound, you get the sound from the front speakers, and then you're inside the armored car and you hear it hitting the roof. Oh my God. It was insane. It was insane. You got to try the shootout from Heat next. Hold on. I haven't done that one yet, but one that made me like, you know, at the end of the chase, Batman shoots the front of it, goes underneath, and then the thing flips over. And then the Joker gets out and he kind of stumbles and shoots. dude, I could hear the echo off the buildings. It was, oh my God, awesome. It was so good. Ricky, what's going on? What is going on? So yes, I did a few more tests. I did the pod race from episode 1. I did um the what do you call them? Sonic charges from episode 2, Attack of the Clones, right? The plang, you know what I'm talking about? Oh, man, I'm telling you, it was amazing. So, was it like an organism? Absolutely, it was. I had like a double organism for sure. But no, it was seriously like, I can't believe buying a receiver would make this much difference. Is that the first movie, episode 1? I mean, it's called episode 1, but it's the 4th movie to come out. And actually, it's kind of like the 6th movie to come out if you count the straight to TV movies. So it's episode 1, but it's kind of the 4th theatrical, but the 6th movie. Are those movies canon? The Ewok movies, Caravan of Courage and Wicket's Wild Ride. I don't remember what it's called. The other one. I don't remember. But anyway, I'm just telling you, it was awesome. It was super, super awesome. And it's one of those things where I wonder, like for example, and I'm not trying to pick on Leon, okay? But Leon said that he didn't like Dune, but he watched it on a laptop or something, right? Or on his TV, or with whatever. It makes me wonder if when people are talking about, oh, it wasn't that good and it wasn't that enthralling or whatever, if they're not experiencing it with some surround sound, man, it makes such a difference. I mean, it makes the impacts like, holy crap. So I'm just saying, everybody go out and buy a surround sound. No, just, you have to take that into account. So for me, when I'm watching a movie that I want to get into, I'm cranking it. So like Dune, when I watched it the first time, I watched it loud, and it was awesome because it was like an experience. It wasn't just, oh, I'm watching this thing on TV. It was like, I'm into this story. I'm being surrounded by the sound. It's beautiful. And that's on the old receiver. I really want to watch it again, cranked up. I haven't had the chance to do that yet. But yeah, I tested out scenes that I knew were like very, very surround sound heavy. You know what I mean? But it was awesome. I'm telling you, it was really, really good. Really, really good. And Heat, I definitely want to go back and watch Heat. Can you actually understand the dialogue in Nolan movies now that your audio setup is pimped out? Interesting that you say that, because one of the things that during that, when watching Dark Knight, I'm sitting there going, why is the dialogue so low? But then what happened was, I was watching some other guy. I was thinking, do I need to adjust my levels because I can't hear the audio? It's the only thing I'd watched up to that point. I watched this video on YouTube, and he said every time that I've run the setup, the setup with the microphone where it kind of tests the audio from each location, every single time I had to bump up the center channel because the center channel was too low. So I turned up the center channel a little bit, and it is better. But I'm going to tell you, I did notice a difference between a Nolan movie and, say, I watched the beginning of Gladiator too, because I heard that one's one to really test out your center channel. Because if you can't hear the dialogue being said with all the stuff going on, then you need to look into it. I had it set. Like I said, I turned up my center channel, played Gladiator, and everything sounded great. So I'm like, okay. So I'm probably pretty happy. But it's kind of interesting that you said that. I mean, even though I said Dark Knight. But yeah, the shootout from Heat on my last system was insane. And I just haven't watched Heat yet. But yes, Duck Hunt. I don't have a copy of Howard the Duck, strangely enough. I had it on VHS back in the day, but I don't have it. I don't have anything else. Yes, when Obi-Wan's being chased in space, it was awesome. So good. My iPod Classic is the 7th generation from 2009. It has 160 gigabytes. It was the last of the line before Apple moved on to the iPod Touches. I kind of miss just having an iPod. I used to have everything like audiobooks and stuff on my iPod. Well, I can't remember which iPod I had a few of them over the years. But I kind of miss having a designated thing. But then now it's like through Bluetooth, it sounds the new versions of Bluetooth. It sounds great through my stereo system in my car. So that's really the only reason I had it. Now I have, I can play music on my Mac. You know what I mean? And it sounds great there. So it's kind of like, for me, the iPod is definitely a bygone era for me. What game are you going to play on it? Dead Space? I actually play a little bit of Metroid Prime Remastered. It sounds good, but it's just not a very, like a crazy game like that. On my previous one, Halo was awesome. So I played a little Halo and it was great. It sounded great. So yeah. I got given a copy of Howard the Duck on Blu-ray this week. Guess which scene I paused and stepped through? Well, there's two options. There's Lady Duck at the beginning, and there's Leah Thompson on the bed. She was smoking back then. Come on. Spending money on receivers totally worth it. Mine finally went out after like 15 years. Yeah. And the thing is, this one works great. I have it in here. This one works great. I just don't have a use for it now. I don't have anything that I need it for. Like if I had I don't know what the use for this thing is. So I'm probably going to end up selling it on eBay or something. Which I found a couple of people that were selling it for like 125, 150 bucks. So I don't know. The Ewok films are now legends. Yeah. You had one of them on VHS? Yeah. Do I have a PS5 or Series X? I have both. I have both because I'm spoiled rotten. I am. I'm spoiled rotten. I don't know how else to say it. I'm spoiled rotten. I bought my PS5. And we, as in April and I, both bought my PS5, our PS5, like 2 months after it came out. I got lucky at Best Buy, so I got it 2 months after release. Got it in January when it came out in November. So I've had that one a while. The Series X I bought last year, but it's the thing with Game Pass where you pay it off over 2 years. So I got that, and I'm paying for that because April doesn't play the Xbox. Wicked's Wild Ride. Jesus, sounds like a porn title. That's kind of what I was going for, but Holiday Special isn't a movie though. That's the thing. The Holiday Special isn't a movie. It's literally a special. It's an hour-long special, right? On TV. I don't think that counts. Cosma. Just saying. I don't know. John Wick movies for sure with surround sound. Yeah, see, I own the first one on digital, I think. And then I think somebody owns the second one. Through the family share on iTunes. If somebody else buys something, I can play it. I can watch it. So we kind of all buy our own movies and then we just share between each other. But the John Wick movies are okay. They're fine. If I had specific scenes to watch, then yeah, to test things out and to listen to it. But I've watched the John Wick movies once. each one once and was like, yeah, that was fun. That's good. All right. Let's move on to something else. They're not very deep, the John Wick movies. Just saying. But anyway. I used surround sound for Modern Warfare 2 back in 2009. Made everything so easy to react to. Absolutely. And especially like in Halo, what's weird is, and I've never played it online, so just saying, but you'll be driving down the road or whatever, and you'll hear something off to your, off to the side, and then you're like, oh, something's over there. So you can go check it out. Breath of the Wild was like that too. It's surround sound's awesome, man. Surround sound's awesome for gaming. When we had the PlayStation VR hooked up and the surround sound was actually working back then, it was, that was awesome too. But I don't know if that's going to work with the new one, and I don't even know if we're going to get the new one, to be honest, because there's not enough software coming out for me to jump on it. Maybe later. I like the Sci-Fi Channel version of Dune. Did you ever see that? No, I never did. And it's one of those where isn't there like 2 or 3 series, 4 series? I don't know how many series there are. I need to know how to start, because that is something I would like to watch. Like genuinely would like to watch it, but I've never watched it. In fact, what was funny is I was at was that yesterday? That was yesterday. Movie Trading Company yesterday. And was looking around, and they had the Children of Dune DVD set or Blu-ray set. And then I was like, but I don't know, is this the whole thing? Because it looked like it was like, is it only 4 episodes? I didn't know enough. And I'm like, okay, that's something I'm gonna have to look into. But yeah, I would love to watch the sci-fi Dune stuff. I've not long finished with a small pet project. A month ago, I bought a prop replica of the blacking virus off Etsy from the Star Wars Legends novel Death Troopers. I don't even know what that is. Prop replica. Blacking? I've never heard of this. I gotta be honest with you, I'm not huge on black wing virus. Gotcha. Project Blackwing. Ah, okay. Interesting. I mean, this is what it looks like. So it's kind of like zombies in Star Wars in a way. Interesting. Here's one right here. Here you go. You can kind of see that. Interesting. What is that? Han, Luke, and Leia looking all weird there. But interesting though. Saving Private Ryan D-Day is amazing. Oh yeah. Yeah. Boy, I am so far behind. I am sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get caught up here. Yeah, and that's another one where I just need to check it out. Starship Troopers, absolutely. Gladiator, I barely know her. Does she have sex with a duck in that movie? No. I missed my first gen iPod video. Picking up my reservation of Metro Prime Remastered tomorrow at GameStop. Yes. It's good. Did you know that SOS gave away an iPod with a ridiculously long website URL? Yeah. It was, what was it? Holy crap, switched on as a year-old and is giving away a video iPod.com. And we actually had quite a few people enter. That was kind of cool. Raffle the receiver. It's an idea. Would anybody even have, I can even give you the model number. It's an AVR 2311 CI Denon. Again, I don't know. That's not a bad idea though. I really just, in a way, I kind of want to just give it away. But I also, just sell it or whatever. Leia Thompson. I barely use my phone anyway, so like so many people nowadays, and while the iPod is no longer used, it suits my purpose perfectly well to keep all my music, audiobooks, and audio dramas. Yeah, see now, since I do everything through the library, through Libby, the Libby app, I get all that stuff for free, you know. And if it's not available, I won't just go buy the audiobook. The only ones I did that for is the Tolkien stuff, because I mean, Tolkien nerd. So, all right, Magnus, I'm happy that you liked her in Last of Us. I never buy things on credit, paid in full. Yeah, I don't typically buy credit either, but with this situation, it was 0% APR, so it's exactly the same. I knew I was going to have Game Pass anyway, and I thought, I want the Series X, and I can't really get it any other way, so why not? I'm just gonna buy it. And like I said, it's money out of my pocket, out of my allowance, basically, that I pay every month. I was going to sell my Series X since I play my PS5 and Switch more than I was waiting. Oh, crap. Then I was waiting on the buyer. Then they said they won't be back for a couple days, and it pissed me off since I was waiting. So I just took it off the market and don't want to sell it now. Dude, I really like the Series X. And I never thought I would say that, because I was pretty much always either a Sony or Nintendo guy. I didn't really play my Xbox or my Xbox 360 back in the day. Just never did. So yeah, I've been really surprised at how much I'm enjoying playing on the Series X lately. I actually thought about if I was ever gonna. This is before I quit playing games, but I was thinking about buying a Series S just for in here. But then I was like, that doesn't make any sense. I can just move it in here, especially when I figured out all I had to do is buy that little switch box, so I can switch between stuff. It's pretty nice. I even still buy DVDs and CDs. Like I said, man, I'm telling you, I'm in the market for some Super Audio CDs now. And I found a website that does sell them. And most of what they sell that's Super Audio is, most of them are like older releases, but like I saw a Pink Floyd album on there that I was like, hell yeah, Dark Side of the Moon. Like, hell yeah, dude. And 5.1, that'd be cool. I mean, Super Audio, I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I would be able to tell the difference. I like surround sound. It changes the song, and it's almost like experiencing it. It's kind of like, you like a song, you go to a concert or you go to their live show, you hear the difference in the performance, and it is the song, but it's different. This is the same sort of, it's like another step. Super Audio with 5.1. I don't know if I just want the super high fidelity, whatever. It's like, okay, for the most part, I typically can't tell the difference between 192 kbps MP3s and a CD. Like, I cannot tell the difference. And in many cases, I wasn't able to tell the difference between the lossless audio that's on, which I guess is FLAC lossless. See, I'm wondering if, like, through Apple Music, because they have almost everything is lossless or better, right? Some of them is like Dolby Atmos and all that stuff, or Dolby, whatever the hell it is. Is FLAC the same? I don't know. See, I don't know. I'm not an audio file like that. Like, I know what sounds good, and I can tell when something doesn't sound good, but between when it gets to a certain point, all of this room of people saying, oh yeah, you got to listen to FLAC and FLAC only. That's why they had, like, I had a friend that I worked with at this marketing firm. He had a portable hard drive, but it was only for FLAC files. And he carried it around and had audio. It was like a FLAC player with like 150 gig hard drive or something on it. I don't remember. It's a while ago. But anyway, 150 gig. Yeah, it wasn't huge, But anyway, it had all of his audio files on there and all his music. And I'm like, so, and he goes, oh, well, I can tell the difference. And I'm like, really? Because I can't tell the difference. So it's just one of those things. Once it gets past a certain point, I don't even know. But like I have a bunch of FLAC files and then I've listened to it just from, an old MP3 and I can't tell the difference. So I don't know. I won't be buying the PSVR on launch. Oh crap. I will give it a year. It's just too expensive, like the original. Yep, exactly. And we bought it. We ended up buying our PlayStation VR. I think it was a year or 2 years afterward. And we played it pretty heavily for a couple of, I would say like a few months. And then it got to where it was just a hassle. And then if I wanted to change something on the receiver, I had to unplug a bunch of stuff. And then somehow something got unplugged and I couldn't remember how to set it up. And then I got it set up again, but then it wasn't in surround sound anymore. And I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. And it pissed me off. So I'm hoping the new one, since it's literally one cable from the headset to the PlayStation, that part will be fixed. But again, there's not enough software for me. But I like the Series X more than PS5 because I can go back and play classic games at 1080p 60. No, and I get that. I just don't. I'm usually not going back and playing older games. Metroid Prime Remastered is different because it's an older game, but it looks really, really good. That game is beautiful. I just really suck at it. I've never beaten that game. How many of you have actually beaten Metroid Prime? Because before, I could never get past the Omega Pirate. Never could. Just saying. This time, I started playing it. I'd been playing it for a couple of days here and there. And I got to the Omega Pirate. And I actually beat him after my second try. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. I guess I'm better. Or maybe, is it easier? I don't know. All I know is I beat him. So I have no idea. I know there's 2 big bosses after that, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat it. But anyway. The prop itself is a medical glass vial, the kind you normally see in laboratories. On it is a label written in Arabic language as seen in the Star Wars universe. Inside is this gray liquid with red spores that float about when you move it. I've also purchased a tube container to keep the vial safe from getting damaged. I mean, yeah, you don't want to turn into a zombie. For sure. Finishing touches, we're adding some vinyl stickers to the container, the Empire symbol, and biohazard warning signs. I'm quite proud how it turned out, although saying that my friend Terry Cooper, better known as Terry on Tuesday on YouTube, oh my gosh, are we plugging somebody else? No, I'm just kidding. He's more of a pro at making stuff than I am. He's like a jack of all trades. Terry's a fellow Brit as well, from London originally, but has lived in South Wales now for 43 years. Well, there you go. Yeah, not all of them. Come by followers and get a free. That's basically what we were trying to. I mean, it was a promotional thing back then. I mean, this was what, 2006 when we gave away that video iPod. That's what it was. It was a way for us to get more listeners, and it worked. We like I said, man, we had when we stopped doing our show, we had 10,000 listeners per show in 2007. That's a lot. And that was, I mean, we were big. We were pretty big back then. Shame we didn't do anything with it. But anyway. Series S is such a great entry point for current gen gaming. Absolutely. And I think Game Pass is an amazing, look, I'm not big on subscription type services because a lot of times it's just like Netflix, right? You get on Netflix and how many times you just sit there and you look at all the stuff and you're just like, I'm honestly kind of intimidated by how much crap there is to watch. I don't even know what to watch. So I've just spent the last 45 minutes going through whatever. Game Pass can be the same way, but I still feel that it's probably the best value in gaming, bar none, right now. It just is. It's so good. I mean, being able, and then that Hi-Fi Rush, I can go in there and play it right now. I haven't played it, but that just came out, and I can go play it right now. That game that came out today, I don't remember what it's called, but that game came out today. I can go play it. Like right now. Well, I mean, not right now. I'd have to download it, but you know what I mean? That's pretty cool. Okay, back to Terry. Right now, he's working on a Star Wars Andor cosplay commission for someone in Canada, I believe. He even made a full-size cosplay of Marvin the Robot from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Sadly, he had to sell it a while ago to help fund his next film project, Bloody Students. For anyone wondering, I live in Merseyside? Is that how you say it? Which is in the northwest of Britain, not far from Liverpool, where the Beatles came from. Interesting. I just live in the Wirral, across the River Mersey from where Liverpool is. Never heard of her. I know Liverpool being in Manchester, why does the River Mersey run through Liverpool? Because if it walked, it would get mugged. Ricky's beaten all 3 Metroid Primes. I beat it, thought it was too easy. Oh, look at Magnus over here. Just, oh my God, I've beaten everything because I'm just amazing. I remember them being hard, so I went back through with Prime Hack, which is dual joystick controls, and it's way easier than I remember. Manchester's in a different county. What do you call someone from Liverpool in suit? The accused. Here's your famous. I don't know what that means. Scousers. Game Pass is the future. I mean, Game Pass is really, really good. It really, really is good. I really, really enjoy it. But again, lately, all I've been doing is I'll get on there for 20 minutes. I'll play some Halo, shoot some grunts, and move on with my day. You know, so I don't play a whole lot. You know, I like fish and chips. It's the only good food they make. I think a lot of people would probably agree with that. But I think that's unfair. I think a lot of it's look, it's just when people, when I say, "Oh yeah, something's really difficult," and somebody goes, "Oh, I beat it in 5 days," you know what I mean? It's like, "Oh man, I really had a tough time with Elden Ring." Oh really? Well, I beat it in. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just a thing. Shepherd's pie isn't bad. That's true. But see, here's the thing. It's like I feel like, England. I mean, if you think about it, pre-internet, we were all kind of in our own little worlds, you know? And I feel like English cuisine has gotten better. I feel like especially around here in Dallas Fort Worth, our cuisine has gotten exponentially better because we've gotten a lot of people moving here from California, a lot of people moving here from the East Coast because Dallas Fort Worth is a centralized whatever. So we get all of this different kinds of food. So I feel like honestly, Texas is one of those places where it's like, man, we got a bit of everything, you know? We got great barbecue, we got great Mexican food, and Mexican food of all types. So we got your Tex-Mex, we got your authentic Mexican food, right? I mean, it's awesome. Yeah. Oh, you want a coastal Mexican food? Oh yeah, we got a coastal Mexican food place. So with like a bunch of seafood. Oh man, dude, we got all kinds of great stuff here. And then we've got Shake Shack from the East Coast. We've got In-N-Out from the West Coast. Of course, Five Guys has really become kind of everywhere. But England's been, they have been really welcoming of other companies and stuff coming in. So I don't know if we can say anymore that, all the food in England is crap. I don't think so. I think there's a lot of great food over there. I've never been there. But I bet you there's a lot of great food there. I'm just saying. There's a rivalry between Manchester and Liverpool. Love, hate for those who don't understand. Oh, I got you. We eat lots of stuff, not just fish and chips. But, I mean, Phil and Dr. Mad Studio, would you agree that over the years, the amount of different kinds of food available to you has probably gotten better, right? You've gotten all kinds of different foods that you wouldn't have had before. And I think part of that is stuff like the Food Network. It's stuff like the stuff on the internet, where people are like, oh man, I want a crazy, greasy, fried Twinkie. And then people are like, yeah, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try making that. And I think it keeps doing that. And we all keep learning from each other, or stealing from each other, if you want to call it that. But yeah, I think so. I mean, I could be wrong. I just feel like, I mean, I watch Beard Meats Food. I've watched a lot of food that he's eaten over there, and it seems like he's gotten all kinds of stuff, I don't know. Okay, wait. The food in Europe. Oh, the best food in Europe is that what you're saying? The best food is Greek? I love Greek food too. Love it. I mean, I've got some, what do you call that? I guess supposedly I've got some, like, a lot of Lebanese and stuff. So yeah, I'll eat all of that, all those kinds of foods. Great stuff. Best food I ever had in my life is in Mexico. Food is worth the trip alone. Cheap too. Can't stand Mexican food from Mexico. I've had it enough. I like pizza, burgers, and chicken here in America. The pizza houses in Mexico are incredible. And moi, Noir, welcome. Good to see you. I know everyone has different taste buds, but never judge something until you try it. I'm telling you, what did it for me, and this was because for a long time I basically ate the same thing all the time. But then I worked at a place where they said, "Hey, we're going to eat at this pho place," and I'm like, "Pho what? I don't know what you're talking about." And we drive up, and I'm like, "This says pho," and it's like it's pronounced pho, and I'm like, "Okay." And ever since then, when I sat down, they gave me a bowl of this stuff, and I ate it, and I was like, "Oh my God!" It was something got turned on, and I just started eating all kinds of different food from everywhere. But it started with pho for me. Anyway, here's a food item from an English chippy: baby's head and peas wet. You okay, Phil? You okay? They make good ice cream also. You talking about in Mexico? Yeah. Yeah, we already had a place. It's closed now, but it was called Pho King Way. What the fuck? Yeah. We had enough stuff in Mexico to not care for it. Plus, growing up with half my family being from Mexico, I'm tired of it. I get that, but I love it. And haggis is one of those things where I just like I had menudo. I mean, I've had a lot of the tripe type stuff. It's just not my thing. And yeah, not many eat haggis. Very acquired taste. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just not a big fan of the haggis. Okay. Water juice surrounding mush peas and baby's yed, which consists of lamb or pig kidneys combined with diced beef and gravy and suet pastry. Interesting. I mean, I would try it. I would totally try it. I know a lot of people love menudo and pozole. I'm just like, meh. Yeah, pozole's okay. Menudo's okay. But hey, you got to head off. Cheerio, folks. Stay safe and take care. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. It was a good time. And yeah, have a good one. I'm guessing it's a great night because you're a few hours ahead of us. I'm late. What haggis? We were just talking about different foods, and you shouldn't knock things until you try it and all that stuff. What do you think the food is like in Star Wars? I'd like to go to the food court on Coruscant. That sounds awesome. I'll tell you what, watching all these Indian films, we don't have any Indian places around here. The only ones that I know of are kind of like, they're probably like an hour away. But I think we have like a fusion place nearby. But I need to look into it. But watching those movies, and I'm sitting there going, Okay, that looks awesome. I don't know what that is, but that looks good. I want to eat that. So, yeah. It wouldn't be an episode of Order 42 without at least a half an hour of food talk, and now I'm hungry. Thanks. Sorry, Bucho. Sorry. It just happened that way. I don't even know how we got into that. Blue milk is yummy. I like some of that green milk, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Luke liked it. Just saying. According to Google, it is a Scottish dish consisting of a sheep's or calf's offal mixed with suet, oatmeal, and I don't even know if I'm saying that right. And seasoning and boiled in a bag, traditionally one made from the animal's stomach. Yeah, not a. I've tried it. Not a fan. And we have is that vegan? Kebab, which is a pie, either meat and potato or meat on a muffin. Yeah, the one thing that I would like to try is a good black pudding. You know, even though I know that that's, you know, yeah, blood pudding or whatever. But I want a good one. Like somebody from there that says, "Oh, they make a really good one here." And I go, "Okay, I want to try it." You know, give it a shot. We got an Indian buffet here. It's incredible. Yeah, see, the only one that I know of is in Plano or Frisco, which is, like I said, like 45 minutes to an hour away from here. But then again, I just might not know about them. So, like I said, I need to look into it. But I know I've asked April, and she goes, "I don't like Indian food." She goes, "I don't like any of it. I've tried it. I don't like it." And I'm like, "Crap." So it's gonna have to be something that I either do by myself or with somebody that actually around here that actually likes it. So, I mean, I get it. Bernie Sanders was at the restaurant one day. Interesting. I like Hoth Italian ice. Italian ice on Hoth. Interesting, Cosma. Interesting. I think they closed fairly quick. Oh, I missed it. Here in San Angelo, we have a place here in San Angelo called Indian Cuisine, Taste of the Himalayas, but I've never gone. Yeah, and there's an Ethiopian place in Pig's Blood, black pudding, right? Yeah, but I've heard that some are better than others. You know, so I want to, I want to try. There you go. This one's really good. Like I'm from here, and this is some good black pudding. And I go, okay, let me try that. Yeah, I still may not like it, but that green milk looks like it came from an infected udder. What are you talking about? Haven't you ever had what is that called? What's the it's like in the produce section, like they have the carrot juice and they have kale juice or kale smoothie type thing. That's probably what it is. It's probably good. I'm a snack cups pudding fan myself. Yeah, exactly. Snack packs. Vanilla wafer pudding is amazing. Yes. That food Luke was eating around Yoda looked disgusting. Yeah, it kind of did, didn't it? I don't actually remember. I mean, he's just eating it with his hands. But you know what? I'm telling you, man, some of that I think one of the Ethiopian food places was on like diners, drive-ins, and dives, and he's sitting there eating it, going, "I can't believe this is really, really good," and it made me want to try it. So, Ricky, do they serve decent-sized food dishes in the Ethiopian place? Yes, yes, they do. Shamrock Shake, Intense Milk. I like those. Shamrock Shakes are back. Phil, remember when Luke wanked off that space? You mean it's just like cow milked it, you know? It's like a cow. Right? Isn't that the sound it made? Ah. So yes. Wait a minute. Did I set up my stuff right? I don't know if I did. Did I? No. Yes, I did. I did the thing. So we're set up for when it's time to move on to the next thing. But look, all I'm trying to say is I like food. And yes, Alec Baldwin had the gun charges dropped. Yes. But there's still, which is kind of funny because it was apparently they were trying to charge him for breaking a law that hadn't been passed yet. But the fact of the matter is, you've got somebody who was trying to probably, because she was also working in the legislature, she was probably, a little bit of a, celeb hunting a little bit. But the fact of the matter is, since he is a member of the executive production part of the production, there's still a chance that he may be liable for some of the problems on set. Namely, why did you have a live round on set? You know what I mean? So we'll see. But the fact is, with that kind of stuff, it's the same with, to me, I look at that the same as the Johnny Depp Amber Heard stuff. It's like, I don't even want to comment on it because I don't know enough about the situation to, you know what I'm saying? So I just go, oh, okay. And I move on. I don't know what's going to happen next. But anyway. Ted Millich, come in. What is that? Drawing in real quick to say hi and leave a like. Have a great show. Thank you, Ted. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. And yeah, I appreciate it. It's okay. You don't have to stay. You don't even have to leave a like if you don't want to. But if you want to, I'm not going to stop you. Okay. You can do it. It's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I've looked at my numbers and stuff, and I'm just kind of like, I just want to do the stuff that interests me, and that hopefully will interest the people that have subscribed to me, and we all just have a good time, and let's not worry about I don't know. Maybe that's why I'll never be PewDiePie, because I didn't get started that early, mainly. But anyway, yeah. Anyway. That cow had pleasure on its face, and who's to say it's milk? We're just assuming. I mean, you never know. You never know. I got a live round building up after some Wingstop wings. Wingstop. Oh, man, dude. Wingstop sounds awesome right now. Because here's the thing. I've been... April and I both were on the healthy train. She's lost a lot more weight than I have. I have hit a bit of a brick wall, and it's because I'm already gotten to the point where all the weight that I was going to lose for eating less, I've already lost. Now I really need to start kicking it into gear and working out and stuff, and I haven't really been working out so hard. So I need to do it. But I miss eating. Like I seriously earlier was thinking, man, it'd be so awesome to go to the store and buy a big box of brownie mix and just eat a bunch of brownies like all day. That just sounds awesome. I want to do it. But I'm not going to. So, anyway. Alien 3 and 4 are some of my favorite movies, not because of the story, but because of the setting and atmosphere. I mean, 3 for sure. I understand. But, okay. It takes hard to build something up. It does. Don't do it. Okay, I won't. Do it for your birthday. Yeah. The skinny brownies that are also thick. Sheesh. The skinny brownies that are also thick. I like ones that are like they're pretty small, but then you've got it in your hand, you're like, that's dense, man. That's heavy. That's what I like. I like it. And with I like the edges, the crispy edges. Oh, damn. But drink more tea. I've drank the tea that I'm going to drink today. See, here's the problem. I've been drinking those every now and then. I've been drinking like a Coke Zero or something like that in the afternoon, just as like a almost like a treat. The problem is the caffeine has made me like. There's been a couple of nights where it's 8 o'clock and I'm like I just take a nap like a 10-minute nap because I'm so tired. And I think that's part of it is because I've been drinking all this caffeine in the afternoon. Yeah. So I don't know. No more tea for now. I like the dark sci-fi atmosphere of Riddick, Dead Space, and Jason X. Okay. Okay. Not a huge fan of the Pitch Black series. Riddick. But then again, look, Ricky, he loves his Fast and Furious. He loves his Vin Diesel. I get it. It's just not for me. Forget measuring weight loss, bro. If you're adding muscle, you'll make swole gains. But see, that's the thing. I don't really want to gain muscle. I want to tighten up what I got, you know? Honestly, what I need to do is I need to really get after the UFC fit thing again. Because I guarantee you I will look leaner with that. And I will gain some muscle and still look good. Because I mean, I just need to get rid of the excess pudge, you know? My sister made a small batch in a large pan. Crispy surface and chewy center is the best. Yeah, see, I'm not a big chewy center guy. I'm more of an outside. I almost like it like somewhere. Like, okay, so there's fudge and there's cake, and brownies are somewhere in the middle as far as texture goes. I lean more to the cake. I like it more cakey and crispy, not fudgy and gooey. You know, does that make sense? That's just me. But I'm not doing. I seriously haven't been eating anything. It's going on the shelf. Phil, here's the thing. I'm actually curious. How many of you have you been watching the shorts? Do you like them? Do you think they're crap? Do you have any suggestions for me? I'm literally winging it and just kind of like, but I'm just trying to quickly in 30 seconds say whatever I'm going to say about whatever I'm holding. And yeah, I don't know. I hope people are enjoying it because I'm enjoying doing them. I'm actually really enjoying putting them together and all that kind of stuff. I had to learn the process because when you film them on your phone, they're this shape, but then when you put them in the computer, then you have to, if you want to add anything, you have to tilt it like this, add whatever you're going to add sideways, and then tilt it back and edit. I mean, it's this whole thing. But I enjoy doing it. So I don't know. I just hope people are enjoying it. If people enjoy it, then I'm going to keep doing it. If you're going to measure stuff, measure performance. Weight is essentially meaningless after a certain point. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I really don't care that much. I just would like to get the flab off is really what I care about. Yeah. Yeah. But again, lately it's been tough because of, I mean, I watch movies and things, and I do reviews and I write a script. And then I go to the store every now and then. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I've been doing. So it's like I hadn't been really working out much. That's my problem. Is I just need to get more active, I think. But you're absolutely right, Bucho. You're absolutely right. When he was shaving his head by the ship. Oh, Riddick? If you're going measure, use a tape measure. I want a short where you dye your hair jet black, paint your face red, and have devil horns on, some black lipstick, and blow some vape smoke out your nose. Well, that would be, you could totally do that. And you got a minute. You have 50, you basically 59 seconds, right? What I'm talking about is I'm doing 2 movies at a time. So it's 30 seconds for this movie, 30 seconds for that movie. And I'm trying to do them as quickly as I can. The ones that are coming out in the next couple of days, I've had to chop up a lot because I end up talking too much about something. I talk for 38 seconds. So I'm like, oh crap, well, I got to take out part of that. So it'll still make sense, but it's still... Anyway. Oh, dang, I keep forgetting to check the shorts. I guess I rely too much on notifications and the shorts don't pop up there for me. Oh. Like how you put the movies on different parts of the shelf, then later you do a high fidelity order. Alphabetical or chronically? Well, I'm putting what I'm planning on doing is having a Blu-ray section and a DVD section. And I think I'm going to have much more DVD than I am Blu-ray. So I just figured I'd separate them out, and then I'm kind of alphabetizing as I go. But I'm also probably going to have a box set section because the Nolan, like where would I put that? The Christopher Nolan section or set. There's the Batman movies, there's Inception, there's Interstellar, there's Dunkirk, and The Prestige, right? But the problem is they don't come, like this set in particular, they don't come in individual movies. It's not, that's how it came. So they're all in here like that, right? So where would I put that? I have to put it in sort of the box set area. And this is actually, I like the way they did that because you basically you've got the, well, so you got the 4K one here, the Blu-ray movies here, and then the Blu-ray special features here. And this is one of those where this one was on sale not too long ago. And it says, I mean, you can tell that that's supposed to be like the European Region B code thing. But the Blu-rays play in my Blu-ray player. So, but yeah, look at all the special features. It's basically a collection of all the 2-disc or however many discs came with these. But I love the set. But where do I put it? You know? Where do I set that? I don't know. And that Zatoichi box, that's gonna have to go on top, you know? Okay, wait a minute. What just measure with PP. You could also set up videos live, have a funny chat interaction in between. Are you talking about how? Okay, what are you talking about that? Have a funny. Are you talking about the live? You mean when I put a video up? Can I do that with? You can't do that with shorts, can you? Or can you? I'm looking. Oh. Since I have these scheduled, it won't let me change it. I'll have to look at that. But see, I've never been big on that because it's basically like we're all just we're just chatty, you know? It's just like us in a chat room. But oh, okay. Oh yeah, Phil. I mean, I think he was kidding, But yeah, yeah. Stay away from the, just came out. Ant-Man just came out. Let's just not. We can say, it's okay, or it was pretty good, or I hated it, or what a piece of crap. But don't go into the specifics, even as a joke. Even as a joke. Uh, the Lord of the Rings extended special features are the best. Those are some of, man, and they're extensive. Hours and hours and hours and hours of content. Um the and see, that's one of the things I'm kind of excited to get to, because I think I have so many copies of Lord of the Rings, because I think I have the theatrical, I have the extended editions, then I have the limited editions, and I don't think I didn't buy the Blu-rays or I mean, I haven't bought the 4K either, because I think I bought it was on sale on iTunes, and it had all the stuff anyway, and I'm like, I don't watch these enough to make it worth buying the discs. But then they upgraded it to 4K. So it's kind of like, it's hard for me to justify it, especially when everybody was talking about how bad the what do you call it? How bad like there were some, I guess I don't know if it's noise reduction or something, that it actually did some things where like there's a part where Gandalf is walking kind of in the distance and his staff gets taken out because it thinks it's noise, but it's actually, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I don't really want to buy these discs, but my digital copies got upgraded, so it's kind of like, okay, but the special features are awesome. And I think the digital versions, at least on iTunes, they have everything that was included with the extended editions originally, plus the limited edition one, which came with extra content or a different documentary. So it has like a ton of stuff. You're right. Matrix was the same way. The Matrix set was amazing. It had it had like 3 or 4 different commentaries, I think. I can't remember. We'll get to it. But it has like 3 or 4 different commentaries, and a bunch of documentaries on the making of. I love that stuff. It's so good. And pretty much all of Ridley Scott's are like that too. The Kingdom of Heaven one, that one's awesome. If you haven't seen Kingdom of Heaven and you're even kind of a fan of Ridley Scott, dude, buy that set, because there's the documentary by itself is worth it, but the movie is so much better too. That extended edition is amazing, or I guess it is the director's cut, alternate cut, whatever. I don't remember what he calls it, but if it's a director's cut or not. But it's great. It's great. Really, really good. But streamers usually set up a YouTube video, recording it while live, then just edit it. Oh yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Uh I don't want to do the a lot of that weird stuff, just because I don't have the kind of content that I think would make sense for that kind of length, or to just do something and then not. Gary, welcome. Good to see you. Where's Rufus been? Because I watched Waking Life, damn it. But where's Rufus? Anyway, so what I do is I record them on my phone. I import them to my Mac. I add trailers and edit them down. That's what I do. But Phase 4 was literally just okay. Seems like the way the graphics are set up now on Marvel movies, it just doesn't have me immersed anymore. Especially in Doctor Strange 2. With Moon Knight in the middle, that doesn't fit in anywhere. Gone very quiet on that. Yeah. You thought Kingdom of Heaven was boring. Well, Magnus, you also thought Heat was boring. And I love both of those movies, so. We're all different, man. Kingdom of shit, but to each their own. Yeah. I love that movie. I think it's great. Did I see Legend of Dragoon is on PSN now? It's only $10 too. I don't know what that is. I don't think I've ever played it. I mean, I've heard of it, but I've never played it. I'll be better once I'm done with stupid work. Stupid work. Dang it. Rufus is fapping. Oh, I just, And where's Calum? Man? If anybody's heard from Calum, let me know. How dare he is not boring, you're boring. Hey. We need the Kingdom of Heaven Maftness cut. It's a game that gets way too hard at the end. Legend of Dragoon. Heat was too long. I had to cut 30 minutes out of it. I would have liked it longer myself. But again, that's the beauty of it, right? It's the beauty. We all like different things. And that's why, like, a lot of the fan edits, it's hard for me to want to watch a fan edit when someone says in the description, I edited out a lot of the crappy dialogue. And I'm like, I mean, I know all of it's subjective, right? And you're cutting things that some people might like, or you're adding things that some people might be like, why would you add that? Like, I don't think that adding in deleted scenes is automatically the better choice. Sometimes deleted scenes are deleted for a reason, because they mess up the flow of the movie, right? That's why they're deleted scenes. I don't think adding those in automatically makes it better or worse. It's just different. But when somebody says, I edited out all the crappy dialogue, I'm like, I don't want to watch your cut, because I don't think that what your position was, I don't agree with. So why would I want to watch your cut of the movie when I don't agree with what you just said? So it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. So I have a Kingdom of Heaven cut. Throw in the bin. Phil? Some fighting words. Hi, a new category. Movies that are becoming documentaries. Example, Idiocracy. Ooh, yeah. Wouldn't want to touch that. Basically, it's like this. If it's political, and it's one of those things that you feel like, and it's not like I'm afraid to talk about stuff. Trust me, I'm not. I'm not afraid to talk about anything. But it's one of those things where I just don't think it's worth my energy. I don't think it's when everybody comes from a different point of view and everybody's got that different thing. It's like, I don't want to talk about that. Movies are fun because we can debate stuff or whatever, but I don't know of many, well, Star Wars has been different really lately. There's a lot of stuff that's been politicized for seemingly no reason. And I'm all about the content, and is the content good or not good? And so yeah, Idiocracy, while I enjoyed it while I watched it, it also makes me sad because it's too close to how a lot of people think, and I don't like that. I don't like Seeing Calamity on Twitter and he posts YouTube vids just doesn't come around anymore. Not enough My Little Pony talk. Well, that's a shame. Does he hate us? I mean, that's the thing. I haven't heard from him. So, the thing with RPGs is that they are stats-based games based on numbers, and it's very easy to have the scale go too off balance. I can see that. But, I don't know. If you think about it, aren't all games sort of numbers-based? Because you have a set amount of HP and your enemy has a set amount of HP. I don't know. You put the toilet water on the food. Is that from Idiocracy? I can't remember. Oscar Perez, welcome. Good to see you. All the ones I've played here have been pretty balanced. Are you a brony? Not a brony. I mean, hey, you like what you like. You do you. As long as you're not hurting anybody, I'm all for it. That's how I look at it, you know, while I hit my vape. Real quick, I know most people don't care, but since this is the Order 42 show and not the Not Gary show or the Ricky show or the Phil Holland show or the Magnus show, I get to talk about what I want to talk about. And just real quick, I just want to talk about I finished book 10, Crossroads of Twilight. And wow, what a terrible, terrible book, man. I'm telling you, this is the worst book in the Wheel of Time series. There's 15 books. Almost everybody agrees that this is the worst one. And I made it through it. I basically just cranked through it on the audiobook and just tried to read it. So yeah, now I'm reading. So this one, done. I don't have to think about it. The next book in the series is a prequel. It was written after book 10. That's why I saved it for after book 10. But then there's 4 books after that. So I'm almost done with Wheel of Time. The next book on the list, Hearts in Atlantis. Now, Hearts in Atlantis, I was reading something about the Dark Tower, and someone mentioned that there are elements of Hearts in Atlantis that show up in the Dark Tower, so it would be a good idea to read Hearts in Atlantis before you read the Dark Tower. So there you go. I'm reading Hearts in Atlantis. So I've got 2 more books, and then I start the Dark Tower Saga Magnus. Very close. Very close. So yeah, there's that. Very excited to get into the Dark Tower. I've read the Gunslinger before, but I'm a more patient reader now, so I really want to dig into it and savor it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what we're doing. So Hearts in Atlantis is up next, and honestly, look, the fact is, I love Stephen King. I love it. I love the way he writes. I know there's a lot of people that are like, oh, he's too this and he's too that, and he's gross and he's too wordy. And no, I'm for some reason, Stephen King just does it for me. I love the way that he writes. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Let's see. Now I want to buy a surround sound system. I'll tell you what, man, it is something else, man. I have had such a great time this last week. Getting it set up was kind of a bitch because I had to reconfigure how everything flowed because the TV was set up a certain way to send audio. Now it's basically just receiving video. So having to set all that up and then set all the systems up separately, but it was awesome. It was awesome. So it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. We don't want to talk about what you want, Rob. It's Order 42 show. The R's are for Ricky. Rob. But no, look, I just wanted to, hey, I'm reading a lot. I've been reading a lot. I'm also reading Why the Last Man. Why the Last Man? No, I'm reading Why the Last Man because I've heard it was really, really good. And I think there's 5 books and I just started book 4, I believe. So I'm enjoying it. It's a little, how do I say this? It's a product of its time. There are things that they discuss that are not exactly like our outlook collectively has changed a little bit on some things. But like I said, so far I'm enjoying it. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure Robert Jordan loves writing those endless books. Well, he's dead now, so I think he actually passed away after. So he wrote the first 10 books, then a prequel, then the 11th book, and then he passed away. And he had actually set up notes so that someone could take over for him and finish the series. Brandon Sanderson came in and finished books 12, or basically wrote books 12, 13, and 14. And apparently they're huge. But honestly, it's like anything, dude. To me, a good movie is never long enough, and a bad movie is never short enough. You know? So as long as I'm enjoying the book and enjoying the ride, I don't care how long it is. I've read freaking crazy, huge, fat Stephen King books and had a great time reading them. So, yeah. There you go. That's how I look at it. Do it now. Hearts in Atlantis. Not read that one. When we'll have a look. Yeah, and it's. See, one of them said read this one before. I'd already purchased it, and then I read a couple of days ago. Somebody said yeah, Hearts in Atlantis should be one of those books that you should read between books 6 and 7. And I'm like, okay, so I'm already reading it, so whatever. An author being too wordy. Look, I mean, I'll just be honest with you. This guy can get lost in the sauce, you know what I'm saying? He became so enthralled with, I want to explain the calendar cycles. So I'm going to spend all this time talking about the calendar. And I'm like, why though? I get it that you had to figure that out for your own. This is your world that you're creating, and you had to figure it out so you could, oh, it took 2 months to get from Rivendell to whatever, right? It took 2 months to do that. So you've got to figure out the calendar and if it makes sense for somebody to travel that many miles on foot. I get that. You're the author, you're the guy. I don't need to know that. So a lot of this stuff, it's kind of like I'm kind of glossing over, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting really bored. Okay, let's just get through this because I don't care. And for me, Crossroads of Twilight was a lot of setting up for what's coming. I'm sure that if I was a fan of Wheel of Time when the book came out, I would have been kind of mad because it's like, okay, we waited 2 years for this story that barely any movement happens. It's literally just, here's what I'm feeling right now. And this one was, hey, we're trying to figure out if we're going to be able to get to be queen. But nothing actually happens. I don't know. So all I know is from what I've heard and from what I've seen, the prequel is okay. It's fine. But then book 11 and 12 and 13 and 14 are great. Like solid. And I'm like, okay. And that's what I heard. From the beginning, when I started, I heard books 7, 8, 9, and 10 are like, they get progressively worse. And I was like, okay, well, I liked book 7, 8, and 9. I enjoyed book 9. But book 10 was bad. Like bad. Okay? So, what's your book of the year as of right now from what you've been reading? Let me see. Book of the year. Where's my reading list? There it is. Okay. So I've been keeping track since July 13th. And I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 books in that time. Which seems like not very many. Of those, I'll say one of the most surprising ones was Lays of Beleriand, which is that blue one right there. It's a lot of the stories that I'd already read in the Silmarillion, but done in poetry. And I thought, I'm not going to like this. I'm not a big poetry guy. But you know what? I really enjoyed that one. That one was really well done. And like I said, a big surprise. My favorite probably is Stephen King's The Talisman. I really enjoyed that book. I also enjoyed Eyes of the Dragon as well. I really, really enjoyed that one. Wheel of Time has just been a good time. I liked Swan Song. Swan Song was actually I can't remember the guy's name, the author, but Grindhead Jim, right, from the movie. Roy was in the movie. Jim suggested that book to me, and I did enjoy it. It's basically like, it's a lot like The Stand, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that one. Robert McCammon, thank you, thank you. But yeah, the like I said, the biggest surprise was that Lays of Valerian. I've enjoyed The Gentleman Bastards. It's right now that's currently a trilogy. I think the book 4 is supposed to come out, I think, this year. But solid. And the audiobooks are amazing. They're so good. The guy's voice is perfect, and he changes his voice depending on who's speaking. It's great. I mean, that's what they all do, but I'm telling you, that audiobook is fantastic. Fantastic. For all 3 of those books. But I enjoyed the first one the most, the second one a little less, and the third one a little less than that. But I still really enjoyed them. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like a really, really good pizza. Back to food. And then a pizza that's really good, but not quite as good as the first one. And then one that's just not quite as good as that one. By the way, speaking of pizza, so we've been doing it. I've basically been shadowing April on what she's eating. And on her cheat days, I have a cheat day. And really it was 1,000 calories for a meal. Really not that crazy. But anyway, it was at we went to Pie 5, and I don't remember what it's called, but it's a spicy pizza with the hot honey drizzled on top. Oh God, awesome. It was so freaking good. It was so freaking good. But anyway, sorry. I hope that answered your question. Who would win in a fight, Middle Earth or Wheel of Time? Middle Earth. I mean, look, here's the thing. As far as, man, Middle Earth is just amazing, right? But Wheel of Time is really, really good. George R.R. Martin's, Westeros and the Game of Thrones, all of that stuff, really, really awesome. But nothing really touches Lord of the Rings for me. George R.R. Martin is, especially his, is different because it's more violent, and there's a lot of sex and, all that kind of stuff. It's a different feel. It's still a fantasy situation. But to me, Tolkien's basically the godfather of fantasy. And I just I don't know if anyone's ever going to get close. The world building is just off the charts. And Robert Jordan, if I will say this about Wheel of Time so far. Again, I'm 10 books in. My biggest issue with Robert Jordan is he really loves to describe what someone's thinking. But what he'll do is he'll say, like two people are having a conversation, and a person will say, well, I'm not sure about that. And then give you a whole paragraph of what that person's thinking. And then the first line of the next paragraph, that's maybe a page later, is the response to what they said. And you're like, wait a minute, what did they say? I've been so involved in thinking about what the character is thinking that I forgot what the conversation's about. And that's the thing that I don't like. I'd rather get all it's basically a storytelling technique, right? You're giving context to what the person just said. I get that. But my problem is, because I don't know if it's just a problem with me. It might be a problem because I'm ADHD or whatever. But I can't stand that. It's like, have the conversation, then give me the backstory, or give me the backstory, then have the conversation. Don't make me try to guess what that's in response to. It's hard to explain, but that's how I feel. That's my single biggest issue with the way that Robert Jordan writes. Because I think he's really good. I mean, I thought he's I mean, there's a lot of things that I think people have complained about, like the way that sometimes the women seem whiny. Sometimes the women, the female characters, they seem just a little bit on the bitchy side. Like, it's like, oh, I want to try to. It's something that my wife has said before too. Like, certain TV shows will do this where, they're trying to write a strong female character, but instead of making them strong, they just make them bitchy, or they make them kind of like I don't like that person. Instead of just writing them with the same feelings that a man would, but from their own point of view. It's I don't know. Look, I'm not a writer, okay? Trust me, I'm not. But I just don't think that you have to go that route into making them feel bitchy. I don't know. Maybe that's weird to say. But that's how I get that every now and then from him. I'm interested to hear how Brandon, or to see how Brandon Sanderson tackles these same characters. So I'm really excited. I'm excited to get into Brandon Sanderson, but get into the finale of this series, because it's been a long trek. I mean, I started the 6th book in August of last year. So it's taken some time, right? I take about 2 to 3 weeks to read a book, because I read at night before I go to bed. So we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. But anyway, there you go. I don't even know why I went into all that. Sorry. I've heard of spinning wheel. Let's see. I'm reading a book called Breathe, about the techniques of real breathing. Interesting. I wish George R.R. Martin would let someone else finish the Song of Ice and Fire books for him. I mean, and yeah, he might pass. I hope J.R.R. doesn't pass first, but he is taking a long time. Oh, G.R.R. When did the last book come out? 10 years ago? Yeah. Bad writing, show don't tell. Are you saying that the way that I was talking about well, the thing is though, how do you show somebody thinking? You have to, I mean, especially if there's information there that's going to lead to something. But I just don't like the way that he does that. It's like, no, I get that there's some background and all that stuff. There's so much. It's a weird thing, man, because I'm enjoying the world that he's created. I really am. Jordan, I'm talking about Wheel of Time. I really am enjoying the world that he's created. But I feel like he gets lost a little bit in, I don't need to think, don't need to know about all the stuff. I don't need to know about what fabrics the women are buying for their dress. And I don't need to spend a whole chapter them trying to find fabrics for I don't care. Move the plot, man. And that's one of the big things that everybody was really complaining about this book in particular, is that, man, this book was treading a lot of water. And maybe it may have been, honestly, it could have been like a cash grab sort of situation. Maybe the publisher was like, hey, give us another book, Maybe Robert Jordan said, well, I think I'm going to be able to finish it in this many books. And they're like, can you do maybe 2, 3 more? Hey, do a prequel, and that's what a lot of people have said. I don't know if that's true or not. I have no context with the real life, whatever's going on or that went on, but that's kind of how it felt with me. But yeah, I don't think it's, like I said, I don't think it's bad writing. I just think that it felt a lot of treading water. And I don't know if that was all his fault. Like, I don't know if he had the, I don't know. But we'll see. Yeah, 2011, the last George R. R. Martin book. Wow. I haven't read any of those, but I remember I read the first chapter of the first book and was like, I didn't know. Now, again, that was a long time ago. It might be completely different now. I'm in a different state of mind reading now. So I wonder if that would work for me, but I've got enough series on the list. I don't know how many books I have here, but it's a freaking lot. It's a freaking lot. So I don't know. Let's see. I can show you. So there's what I've read. There's all the books on the list. So it's a lot. The wife in Breaking Bad was the most annoying woman of all time. I'm not sure if I agree with that, but did the long descriptions of food and clothes and lies of Locke Lamora bug you? No. See, big difference. Big difference. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we'll Lies of Locke Lamora, right? Bam. Length 499 pages, right? Roads of Twilight. 846 pages. Big difference in the style of writing. Big difference. So there you go. I mean, look, and I'm not saying that Robert Jordan is a terrible writer. He wasn't. But I kind of feel like this was stretched out. You know what I mean? That's a big difference. So great question, but no, I was never bored. Never bored in the Gentleman Bastards books. Never bored. Crossroads of Twilight it bored me. Like, I can't believe we're still talking about this. Why are we still talking about this? And then after I read it, because I didn't read any reviews, I just saw that people had ranked it really low, and most people ranked it as the worst out of the whole series. Didn't read any actual reviews. I'm like, dude, I'm a patient guy. Maybe I'll like this. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Can't believe the last Martin book came out that long ago. Halfway through my career. I'm about to retire soon. Time flew by. Wow. Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if he can end it in a more satisfactory way, I guess. I guess we'll see. Now, there's not really... Okay, I do have news. I do have news, and we haven't really talked about any of the things that... where's the damn... There it is. Let's briefly... I want to talk about... Not that. I want to talk about that. Quantumania. Did I read the Harry Potter books? Yes, many, many times. I read the books all the way through twice. I listened to the audiobook multiple times. We're talking probably 10 times. I will look, J.K. Rowling has had many different issues come up that have been very, very controversial. All I can say is that reading the Harry Potter books was one of the most rewarding reading experiences I've ever had, period. And that's coming from somebody who loves Lord of the Rings, loves Stephen King, all of that. Seriously, one of the most rewarding reading experiences I've ever had. Okay? Ever. And the audiobooks read by Stephen Fry were magical. His voices were like I never questioned it. His Hermione's great. His Professor McGonagall is great. His Hagrid is great. His Dumbledore is great. Everybody, he was amazing. His performances were so good. But I really enjoyed the series. Loved it. I really did. And I mean, I can't not say that I didn't enjoy it because I did. I really did. Now, are there, especially now these days in our newer climate, there's some things where like, okay, no, okay, I can kind of see that. But holy crap. First, the storytelling is, I love the fact that there would be something that was mentioned in the second chapter of the second book, and it doesn't pay off until the middle of the sixth book. And since I was paying attention and I'd read them pretty close to each other, I went, oh my God. I mean, it was, holy crap. What an amazing experience. But I get that some of the characters are like, you probably could have done better than, Cho Chang. You probably could have done better than, for this or that or whatever. But still, one of the best reading experiences I've ever had. No spoilers on Ant-Man. No spoilers. I'm not going to say any spoilers on Ant-Man. So everybody that's seen Ant-Man and Quantumania and Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, really what I want to talk about is the trailers that I saw. Okay? That's really what I want to talk about. But no spoilers. No spoilers. Never read a single Harry Potter book or saw any of the movies. All right. And Stephen Fry is amazing. Rob should be in charge of the novelization of the Game Chasers movie. Do we need a novelization? Does anybody read anymore? I agree about the Harry Potter books made you feel good while reading. I get excited, sad, angry. Cool, a book can do that still. That's right. And it's really what got me back into reading, which is weird to say since I'm 46 years old, Tim can do the audiobook. Oh my God, I can't even imagine. The books were great and the movies too. I hate reading. Ricky says I hate reading. I love to read. My biggest issue with that, I shouldn't say that. I'll say the books are great. The movies are okay. The movies pissed me off because they took out things that I think were really important and they added in extra things that weren't important. I think the casting for the most part was fantastic. I think Michael Gambon made I didn't like his portrayal of Dumbledore. I like Richard Harris's better. Richard Harris got the aloofness, the almost like, oh, well, look at this. All this danger, and he's all like, huh, that's interesting. Instead of getting all bent out of shape and putting Harry up against the wall, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? It's just stuff like that. It just bugs me. It bugs me. I still don't like the way that he acted in parts of book 6, which is my favorite book. There were so many good things in that series, but anyway, like I said, no spoilers for Ant-Man, okay? No spoilers. But I wanted to talk about some of the trailers I saw. First up, Ricky. You awake, Ricky? Huh? Are you awake? Are you awake? You love Timmy T. Look, I don't know if Timmy T could do that justice. The Necroscope books by Brian Lumley. I don't know what that is. It's I'm just curious. Horror novels. I mean, I'm not saying they could be bad. Dead Speak. So describe someone who can communicate with the dead. Interesting. I'm not gonna say it's not interesting, but I got a lot on my plate right now. So yeah, Fast 10, no BS. The first half of the trailer had me. And then it went off the rails, and I was like, this is just not for me. Not for me, man. I can't get into this. I can't, man. I just can't. I just can't. What's the plan, Dom? I don't know anymore. I mean, I was kind of like, okay. And then that last half was just so freaking bad. But that's just me, man. It's just me. I can't. Yeah, Aquaman missed with his family. Yeah. And I'll tell you what else. Something I hadn't really thought about in a while, but seeing it on a big screen, big difference. When I saw it on the big screen, I was like, this CG looks janky. Really janky. Like, oh my God, janky. Not great. I hope they have time to fix some of that, because holy crap. The next one. This looks like super budget. This looks bad. I mean, there were a couple of jokes in the trailer where I was kind of like, okay, maybe it'll be a fun time. But this movie looks, I don't know, man. And look, I'm completely willing to set aside my expectations and just watch the movie on its own merits, not what I think it should be or what it could have had or what might have had, what blah, 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 blah. I saw that trailer and thought, I can't. I don't know. This is not going to be for me. So this one was another one where it was kind of like, eh. You know? Fast, what? I don't even know what MXVIII is. Vin Diesel will be riding around a mobility scooter at Walmart. Too Fast, Too Furious we don't talk about, but the rest of them are amazing. And Hobbs and Shaw. Okay, Hobbs and Shaw made me want to stab my own eyes out. So, sorry. Just not my thing. Even if bad, it will be good. I'm telling you, it looked so much worse in the theater than it did on my computer screen. It's an amazing difference that I never really thought about, I guess. But man, it looked cheap. It looked cheap to me. So I don't know. But again, I'm hoping every one of these is like an amazing movie, and whoever wants to go see it, they have a good time. You know what I'm saying? So Fast 10, not made for me. Ricky, I hope you have a great time. You know, Carbonite, you're big into the D&D stuff. I hope you have a great time. Not for me though. It's just saying. Is the Batman stuff over? What Batman stuff? Batman. We were talking about Batman. You mean Ant-Man? Yeah, the Ant-Man. I wasn't talking about Ant-Man. I should have said that beforehand. I'm sorry. I never want these movies to end. Well, Hobbs Shaw was trash. Didn't like it. I'm just... Yeah, see, and some people love... That's the thing. Everybody's different. Everybody is different. I can't watch those movies because they give me a headache because my eyes aren't supposed to roll back in my head that far. But you love them, and that's great. Guess what? I love Dune. There's a lot of people that don't like Dune. Leon, good friend, right? Good friend of the show, good friend, period. Can't stand Dune and hates it. Like, literally hates it. But I love it. So, and you know what? A ton of these martial arts films, I guarantee you most people would go, that is absolute shit. And I go, I don't care. I love it. So, again, we're all different. It's all good. It's all good. I saw the Mummy at the movie theater and thought it was amazing. I saw it on VHS. I thought it looked terrible. That's true. I mean, there are times when it goes the other way, but usually the theater magnifies the problems. You know what I mean? What do you mean roll back? You know what I mean? Like eye roll. You know what I mean? I'm gonna strap down Rob and hold his eyes open so he can watch all the Fast movies, but I'll spare him from number 2. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. But next up, okay, wait. Fast series is a one and done series for me, except for the first 3. Love Tokyo Drift. Leon doesn't seem to like movies. He does like movies. He's got a certain taste. And if it doesn't fit that taste, then, but you know what? That's him. That's him. The one that kind of surprised me, as soon as I saw the trailer coming up, I'm like, okay, let's see how this looks in the theater. Because this is after I watched the Dungeons and Dragons one. I got to tell you, this looked really good in the theater. Like, I was surprised at how the CG looked in here. Now, I will also say, just so everybody is aware, I have a bit of a man crush on Adam Driver. So, but I'm telling you, this looks like it could be fun. It could also be crap, but Leon likes the movies he didn't work on. Leon has a big problem with some of those movies. Too Fast, Too Furious is the best one. I don't know. You guys are fighting. I guess just figured the movie magic is gone for him since he works on them. I don't think it's that. It's more about he likes certain story elements, and just like me, he likes some and he hates some. He probably doesn't want to ever see another Chosen One trope movie ever again. Even though Dune came before Star Wars and a lot of other movies, the story itself, he's probably like, oh great, another Timothée Chalamet is God thing. Maybe that's what he thought. I don't know. Or it might have been that he wasn't able to really get into the movie because he was watching it on a small screen. Versus me watching it on a big screen with surround sound blowing my ears out. And it was great. So, does my wife know about Adam Driver? She does. And she's okay with it because he doesn't live in Dallas-Fort Worth. Hopefully he doesn't come here. Anyway, the next one, again, thinking, okay, how's this one going to look? I got to say, I think, and this, I could be completely wrong, but I didn't remember seeing the trailer that I saw for this. It felt different to me than the one that I'd seen before. And I got to say, it looks fun. It looks like this could be really, really, really good. It could still be crap though. Let's be honest. The thing is about trailers, you can have really, really good trailers for bad movies. And you can have really bad trailers for good movies. All I know is this one was like, okay, that looks like it could be fun. I mean, who knows though? I hope they continue for you, Ricky. I'll check it out the drive-in, but not buy. It'll rival my Simpsons collection. Not a big Simpsons fan. I mean, it's fine, but I don't go out of my way. Yeah, I think I downloaded the wrong movie. Yeah, different movie. Yet I love stuff like Beavis and Butthead or Jackass and such. Yeah. And The Simpsons is pretty good. But see, that's the thing. The Simpsons, Family Guy, they're comedy, but they're different kinds of comedy, you know? Adam Driver and Ridley Scott equals House of Gucci. I know it. But then actually it was the first trailer they played. But I wanted to talk about this last because we didn't get a chance to talk about it yet. Are people going to get mad? Look, this trailer's awesome. Okay? This trailer's badass. I don't care who you are. This trailer looks good. And I get it. I get that people look at what Ezra Miller has done and you go, I can't. Completely get it. But I think this trailer was slick. I thought it was really, really well done. Uh, Michael Keaton looks great. A little bit on the nose with the I'm Batman. But I'm telling you, I think that this movie could be good. And I don't know who, I can't remember her name. I can't remember her name, but she looks great as a super, a different Superman, Superwoman, not Supergirl. Is she Supergirl? I guess she's a different. All I know is it was awesome. I'm sitting there watching it going, holy crap, this looks great. This looks great. So, look, I'm just saying, yeah, it was awesome. That didn't work. That's weird. Huh. Okay. So I do this, then I go like this. But then if I do this, then I can do this. You can't see what I'm doing. Woo! Um anyway, yeah, I thought the Flash trailer was awesome. And I got to say, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think Ezra Miller did a great job with what I've seen so far. I've always enjoyed the Flash. Always enjoyed it. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. And of course there's a lot of people that are saying there's no way he's coming back. But here's the thing. We'll talk a little bit more about DC's weirdness here in a minute. But I'm interested to see how it's going to work. This trailer. I know. See, that's the thing. Phil Holland, you got this trailer's like Ninjinzu seems to like this. And then Phil is like, "Oh god." So it's so weird. I'm not mad that movie's going to be great. Carbonite. James Gunn did say this resets the DC movie universe. Right. But I'm talking about we'll see if Ezra Miller gets to play in the DC universe anymore. Ezra is just not a great human being, Robbie threw away his trailer. Not sure what you mean. Haven't seen the show, but Flashpoint Paradox and Doomsday. Look, this could be great. It feels so strange seeing the story of Man of Steel unfold again in the movie, but without Henry Cavill. Well, that's the whole point, right? That's the whole point. He said, I've created a universe without metahumans. So there is no one to stop Zod. So, anyway, we'll see. Again, it could be crap too. All I know is I looked at that and went, that was kind of cool. Possible Batman Beyond setup? I mean... Oh, yes. Career, yes. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. You got to go empty out my fart bag. Good night. Thanks, Magnus. Shame I like Ezra as Flash. Yeah, I thought Ezra, especially the line at the very beginning. So why would you want to save this one? He goes, because this is the one that my mom's in. The way that he delivers that line, it's like, it looks pretty good. I mean, who knows? And Wraith, yeah, my vote is on crap. Who knows? We won't know until it comes out. Crap could be good like Spawn 97. Right. I don't know what that means. Is that the movie? I like the HBO animated series. That was pretty cool. Whole movie looks like an oversaturated Marvel movie, but with the DC logo. If you mean by being colorful, is that what you mean? Because it was colorful, but there's a lot of dark Batman stuff in there. I mean, we'll see, right? You can't, that's the thing. We can sit here and go, okay, this trailer has done enough for me to want to go watch this movie. But once you get in the theater, it's totally different. Like, look at the trailer for Justice League. Do you think that gives you any idea about how good the movie ended up being? No, movies can be good or bad. It's the CGI. Yeah, but the other DC movies had plenty of CGI. You had Henry Cavill Superman doing those same moves, these fast, punchy things that I still think are awesome. I'm just trying to say we should see. Snyder's Justice League trailer gave me all types of hype, and then it put me to sleep. It's a long movie, man. Long, long movie. Ezra is just pure Looney Tunes and needs to stay away for a while and work. I mean, that's part of what they're trying to say, right? And I'm talking about DC now. They're like, we support Ezra getting help, so get help. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Uh, I don't know. Again, the whole thing's a mess, and it's going to be a mess until Aquaman's done, and then we'll finally get to okay. All of this stuff is behind us now. Here's where we're going. What are we gonna do? I don't know. 4 hours of quality greater than 2 hours of mediocrity. See, to me, I felt like it was a lot of uh I mean, look, Wraith, clearly we have different views on that. And I don't want to say anything that goes against your opinion, because your opinion is just as valid as my opinion. For me, the movie was too long. The movie felt the thing about all of Zack Snyder stuff is there's a lot of brooding. And my biggest problem is that Superman isn't a brooding character. It's the reason why I felt like Batman versus Superman was such a bummer. Because I was like, the whole difference is Batman's a certain way and Superman's a certain way. And when they're both kind of going, everything sucks, it's weird, man. You need that difference in whatever. It's almost like, to me, it's like DC said, look at what Nolan did. He did a great job. Everything's so dark and broody. For Batman. Works for Batman. Do that for Superman. But that's not what Superman, to me, that's not who Superman is. But I grew up with a different Superman. My Superman was Christopher Reeve. Always standing, you know what I mean? It's like it's just a totally different thing. So, I don't know. Remember that outfit from Batman and Robin, the silver bat suits? that kind of like the vibe. Look, there's all kinds of ways that the Flash, right? That's just what it's called now. Could go wrong. So many ways. So far, I'm like, okay, I want to see this movie. That's how I look at it. Snyder had his chance and blew it. Long live the era of Gunn. Let's see, the thing is, Gunn is completely, we could say that he is completely untested, because the difference between a Peacemaker show or a Suicide Squad movie is completely different to what a Superman movie is going to be. Right? Should be. Just like you can't make Superman dark and brooding, you also can't make him say a bunch of dirty sex jokes. Just doesn't work. So we'll see. A lot of this stuff we're on ground that we don't really know what's going to happen. I have faith that there's going to be some good stuff coming, but we'll see. That's the whole thing about, it's so hard to judge this stuff without seeing it yourself. So, Phil, absolutely. I don't know enough about that. The Ezra stuff. Yeah, so enjoy the flat. Yeah. Wraith drank the Kool-Aid. But here's the thing. It's Superman had an arc in Zack Snyder's Justice League. He was the positive one we're all used to. Yeah, but it took a long time. I'll tell you this. April said that Batman vs. Superman completely soured her to DC completely. Because she said he did such a good job from both of their points of view, Superman looking at Batman going, he's a piece of crap, and Batman looking at Superman going, he's a piece of crap. Guess what? I'm not interested in either one of you now. She hates Ben Affleck as Batman, which is crazy. I think that's crazy. I don't hate either one of them. I think they're awesome in those roles. But she can't stand either one of them. She doesn't even want to watch Justice League because she hates them so much. So think about it from her point of view. If other people feel the same way and they go, yeah, I don't like either one of these characters now. I don't like how brooding and how. And then at the same time, you get to the end with the whole Martha thing, and you're just like, I don't know, maybe okay, look, different strokes for different folks or whatever. But she just didn't. She said, I liked Wonder Woman. I liked Shazam okay. I liked the Aquaman okay. But Wonder Woman was really the one that she liked. And I was like, yeah, but wait till you see Batman versus Superman. Because I'm telling you, I get pumped in Batman vs Superman when Wonder Woman comes at the end, comes out at the end, and the music starts up. It's badass. There's just not enough. There wasn't enough for her to like it. And it turned her off on anything in the future. So if she felt like that, I can see how other people felt like that. Same Superman as Rob. Yeah. Man of Steel 2, he would have had time to show us the world how hopeful he could be. The problem is, we'll get to some of the Henry Cavill stuff here in a minute, because that is something interesting. Joss saw Flash trailer again, looks good. Agree, Rob, on James Gunn and Superman. It's a risk. You can't have dick jokes in Superman. You really can't. I mean, you can have some funny stuff in there, but you can't go. Superman is supposed to be his. Part of his weakness, besides kryptonite, is how good he is. You can't make him a bad guy. I mean, you can make him a bad guy. There have been stories where Superman kind of goes bad and has to get kind of reined in and all that kind of stuff, or whatever, different versions of Superman, all that kind of stuff. All that stuff has happened, which is cool. But you can't start with that. Turns people off. Same in Batman. I mean, look, here's the thing. To me, I didn't realize that, because I was all in on Batman versus Superman for the most part. There were problems with it. There were some, like, I gotta be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of Jesse Eisenberg as Luthor. Just not a big fan of it. I think he was completely miscast in that. But there's a lot of that movie that I liked. When Batman starts like completely killing people, it was kind of like, okay, it's okay. This is real life. This is not like a comic book. It's kind of the same way as how some of the other movies. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. But then we got to Justice League, and I was kind of like, I still want April to see it, but she wouldn't watch it. She wouldn't watch. I mean, like, hey, you want to watch Justice? And this is back in the Joss Whedon days. Yeah, you want to watch it? No, I don't. I don't like those characters. I don't like those versions of the characters. Okay. All right. And then when I think I was watching the trailer for Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it's all in black and white, and 4:3, and I'm like, okay. April comes in there and she goes, "Oh, is that the new DC thing?" And I'm like, well, kind of. It's basically Zack Snyder's version of Justice League. She goes, "The one that I never watched." She goes, "Yeah. Should I watch that?" And I said, "I don't know. It's 4 hours." She goes, "I'm out." So that's the thing, man. Repeatedly, there were things that completely turned her off. So I can understand other people feeling that way. When somebody like her feels that way, I get it. Who knows? Maybe there will be an Elseworlds movie down the road with Cavill, like Kingdom Come, something like that. I would love that. Kingdom Come is awesome. George Newbern is my Superman. Batman also had an arc too. He was lost and then Superman basically saved his soul. True. But the problem is there was so much of that. And then it got, again, from April's point of view, she's sitting there watching it going, this is goofy. I don't like it. She was done. Lex Luthor's plan? Yes. If Gunn doesn't hit a grand slam with a Superman movie, then the new DCU won't last long. You hated Jesse as Lex. Yeah. But, I mean, who knows, though? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Well, the first thing we're going to get is that cartoon, right? The animated series. So, but you're right, though. He needs it to be just beautiful. He needs it to be awesome. Gunn has already made the best DC thing since Nolan's movies. He'll be fine. If you're talking about, are you talking about the Suicide Squad or Peacemaker? They have to get that first movie right. Massive pressure and risk. That's how I feel with Tom Holland. I'm out. See? Exactly. And that's the thing. I get it when somebody says that kind of stuff. But Superman is the flagship. Has to be amazing. I totally agree. Totally agree. Now let's talk about a different comic series. This one was weird. A reboot of Hellboy. The difference is Mike Mignola, the creator, artist, writer, all that kind of stuff. He's going to be involved in this. I don't know. Does anybody care about Hellboy anymore? I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of Mike Mignola's. That is how you say his name, right? Or is it Mignola? Anyway, I'm not a big fan of his art style. So I've never really gotten into a lot of that stuff. I like the character of Hellboy reboot. I like the character and I'd like to see it done well. I just feel like the Guillermo del Toro movies they didn't quite get, I don't know what it is. They just didn't come together to a point where I was like, I really love this. I liked it, but I was also disappointed with it in parts. I never watched the David Harbour Hellboy. But yeah, I mean, the guy that directed Crank is going to be doing it. I don't know. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Here's the thing. It could be one of those situations where, they finally get it right. Who knows? Who knows? We won't know until we see it. And I mean, the weird thing is, like, I look at that and I go, the director of Crank? What? Why? But then I remember the writers of that, what is the dog movie is going to do Captain America? What? And then it ended up being my favorite MCU movie. I don't know, man. Is Winter Soldier my favorite or is Guardians 1 my favorite? I think it might be I don't know. Depends on the day. Golden Army was legit. Yeah, see, I honestly don't even, I think I own it. I guess we'll see. I think I own it. I don't remember it, like, at all. So I don't know. But another interesting one. Has anybody seen Banshees of Inisherin yet? Because Barry Keoghan is going to be Billy the Kid in a new movie. So fresh off of his Academy Award nomination, Barry Keoghan is set to star in a new movie about Billy the Kid from director Bart Layton. He says, "We've seen many versions of Billy the Kid on screen before. My interest was in trying to tell a version that breaks from the facade of that cool, calm, and collected gunslinger Billy the Kid that we're all used to seeing. I wanted to humanize him in a way." I actually, look, he's really impressed me in the last few times I've seen him. So, yeah, I think this could be good. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Too bad Guillermo never got a chance to do his Justice League Dark movie. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. The thing is, both of them, Marvel and DC, both have gone up and down with, oh, we need to be more dark and gritty, and oh, we need to be more family friendly, and oh, we need to be, you know what I mean? It's just like, and I feel like in a lot of ways, I get it when people say that they're tired of Marvel, but for the most part, Marvel has gotten that balance pretty well done, you know? I like that. The fact that they're gonna do a Disney rated R Deadpool movie is still shocking to me. We'll see how that goes. Will he go super meta and talk about Disney at all? Will he be talking about freaking Kevin Feige and Bob Iger? And we don't know. It could. That could be really, really interesting. Or it could fall completely flat. But we won't know until we see it. Now, let me see here. Did I do this right? Did I do this right? I did. I did because I'm awesome. We got a little news and a new poster for John Wick Chapter 4. So Ricky basically hates Ryan Reynolds and Tom Holland. But anyway, Joe Wick. Yeah, John Wick Chapter 4 comes out March 24th. And the runtime has been revealed. 2 hours and 49 minutes for an action film. Two hours and 49 minutes for an action film? Look, my biggest... The poster is awful. I mean, it's like, yes, that's John Wick. Yes, that's Keanu Reeves. But 2 hours and 49 minutes. Why? It's one of the weird things about watching these Indian films that I've been watching. A lot of them are telling, and again, I'm not trying to, what do you call that? Generalize? But it seems like every single movie that I've watched, there appears to be about 20 to 30, 40 minutes that probably could be cut out or cut down, trimmed down, make it feel a little speedier. Because that's the thing. How many times have I said it? I've said it once tonight. I've said it many times before. No good movie is too long, and no bad movie is too short. It's the truth. This could be 2 hours and 49 minutes of organisms. You know what I'm saying? Just 2 hours and 49 minutes of just pure bliss. We will see. But sometimes less is more. One of the weirdest examples is, and I know a lot of people will probably be like, what? Iron Man 2. At the end of Iron Man 2, there is a scene where, spoilers, he shoots someone. Yeah. But at the end of Iron Man 2, Rhodey shows up, right? In War Machine. And there's the scene where they fight the drones or whatever. And it lasts such a short amount of time. But it was awesome. That whole movie, not great, even though you had Sam Rockwell in it. But Iron Man 2 is one of those movies where I kind of forgive a lot of the bad stuff because that ending scene is so freaking awesome. But right about the time where you're like, okay, give me more, they stop the scene. And it's one of those things where sometimes you have to have that restraint to hold back and say, that's enough. That's enough. And I feel like a lot of Indian movies are about that excess. And I don't want John Wick to turn into one of those movies, because I'll be honest with you. I don't think action movies need to be that long. especially John Wick. I'm sorry. How deep is this movie? Like, if there's gonna be an hour of them talking about the ballerinas or whatever and the hotel Transylvania or wherever they're doing their thing, what is this movie? Why? That seems like a long time. Just saying. It seems like a long time. Yeah. I don't think Indian movies need to be as long as they are. I mean, again, like RRR is one of those weird movies where just when I thought that I was going to get bored, something crazy happened. So I'm not talking about RRR. I'm talking about all the other Indian movies I've watched so far where I feel like that didn't need to be that long. But that's, again, it's just me. 2 hours and 49 minutes of in-your-face explosions, kills, chase scenes, fight scenes, betrayal, revenge, and puppy. See, that's the thing. You can actually, I'll be perfectly transparent with you. Showgirls. I was tired of seeing Elizabeth Berkley naked by the end of that movie. I was literally tired of it. How? How could the movie be so bad that I'm tired of nudity? Just saying. And trust me, I like women, but damn, that was a lot. So even the best stuff, you need to have that restraint. Leave them wanting more. I just feel like it's too excessive. That's just my opinion. Basic Instinct was better. I'm sorry, but Basic Instinct is also a piece. I think Verhoeven is amazing, but peace. I do not like either one of those movies. I think they both suck. They're titillation for no reason, for excess's sake. I'm sorry. I don't understand it. I don't understand why anybody liked Basic Instinct. Like, how did it make so much money? Oh, it's because you can see Chance. Okay, fine. Okay, I can see that on the internet. Those movies, I'm sorry, those movies are not good. I don't like them. I don't understand. I don't understand why people like them. Anyway. Kyle MacLachlan got a naked lap dance. He's lucky. True, I guess, but still, I don't understand how you can make it that. I mean, completely unsexy to me. Like the scene in the pool. If you've seen Showgirls, you know what I'm talking about. That didn't look like a sex scene. That looked like a condition that she needs to look into. It was bad. It was bad. Bad movie. Just saying. So anyway, basically, what I'm trying to say is I don't know if it needs to be 2 hours 49 minutes. I can't listen to any more of this anti-Showgirls blasphemy. I'm out of here. Bucho. Yeah. The thrashing in the pool. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That wasn't sexy at all. That was frightening and completely off-putting. Okay, we were talking about J.K. Rowling earlier, right? This is I'm sorry. This is just the article name. It said J.K. Rowling isn't concerned about anti-trans backlash tarnishing her legacy. Quote, I'll be dead. I mean, not wrong, right? Not wrong. Uh, Still, it just made me laugh. Yeah, come on, Rick. I know Ricky knows what Showgirls is, but here is something. Steven Spielberg had been doing a lot of interviews, you know, because he's got a movie that's very very popular, and he's up for a bunch of Oscars. So I actually liked what I read here. Steven Spielberg said he's very happy that he rejected Harry Potter director offer. I sacrificed a great franchise to be with family. And I just thought that was really sweet. Just really sweet, you know? Um, but it got me thinking, what, and this was the first movie that he was up for the Philosopher's Stone. I'm sorry, I refuse to call it the Sorcerer's Stone. It's called it's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. But anyway, no, I really didn't know what Showgirls was. I just looked it up. Really? God, there's supposedly a cult around that movie, and I don't understand how. Movie has to be at least watchable for it to have a cult following. And that movie is absolute, in my opinion. I think it's French. Chité. Chité. Yeah. That's what Showgirls is. Anyway, it got me thinking about, so Chris Columbus, that is his name, by the way, the director of the first two Harry Potter movies. He was sort of an understudy, kind of Steven Spielberg, right? Chris Columbus actually helped out with some of the designs on Gremlins. Steven Spielberg, of course, was involved in, behind the scenes producing of Gremlins. So he'd worked with Steven Spielberg in the past. Interesting that they were all sort of hovering around this movie. And what could a Steven Spielberg Harry Potter be like? That's a really kind of an interesting thing. I that's a cool what if to me. Like, oh man, what if, I don't know. Let's say I don't know. Let's say Kate Capshaw isn't wasn't able to make the audition. I don't want to kill her off. But let's say Kate Capshaw doesn't make it to the audition for Willie Scott in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Steven Spielberg and Kate Capshaw never meet, so they never get married, right? So he doesn't have the same family. Maybe he has a different family. Maybe whatever. I don't know who knows. Who knows? That, like, that alternate universe. If that happens and Steven Spielberg directs the first Harry Potter movie, could it have been better? Worse? Because one of the things that I'd heard about was that in a lot of cases, Steven Spielberg has no problem hiring American actors to do British parts, British roles. And somebody that campaigned heavily, to be in the Harry Potter series as Hagrid was Robin Williams. Robin Williams wanted to be Hagrid badly. What would that have been like? Because, I mean, I got to be honest with you. I just went blank on his name. The actual actor who played Hagrid. Coltrane. Robbie Colt. Is that his name? Is that his name? I want to be mad. Harry Potter. Harry Potter in this. Robbie Coltrane. I was right. Yay. I was right about something. But the thing is, look, I just think it's an interesting thing. Like what could have been, you know? What could have been? So who knows? The thing on people going after J.K. Rowling, they're never happy and very toxic. It's not if it's not J.K. Rowling, it's another thing, drama and toxic. The thing is, toxic behavior isn't exclusive to trans people or the people that are anti-trans or against J.K. Rowling. Let's just say some of those same people may look at Star Wars the same way. So they look at Marvel the same way. They look at DC the same way. They look at Disney the same way. Some of those same people, they just, I don't know. The Game Chasers. Did someone say Gremlins? Yes, I did, Billy. Sorry. I still think it's really interesting though, with this. And something else that he said recently. Apparently he was at some, I don't know if it was a party, whatever, but he basically told Tom Cruise that Top Gun Maverick saved Hollywood's ass, which is kind of funny. I mean, in a way, I think he's right, because a lot of movies were pretty big, but Top Gun Maverick was the movie that got older people back out in the theaters, you know? And hey, 80 for Brady's out too, I think is the name of the movie. Anyway, but I think he might be right. So yeah. But the other thing that I thought was really interesting about what Steven Spielberg said recently was that he doesn't know what his next film will be. And he says it's a little scary, but it's also really good, you know, but it's also scary because he needs to work. He's one of those people that needs to be working on something, needs to be going. So yeah, interesting stuff. I want to know what he's going to work on too, because who knows? Who knows what he could work on? The weird thing is too, is a lot of people were looking at that whole Spielberg thing, right? Is he had, at that point in his career, if you think about it, that's late 90s when that was probably being worked on as far as like you're being developed. He had already sort of moved past the Jurassic Parks and things like that. You know what I mean? He did, what was it? He did Jurassic Park in 93. He did Lost World. Then he did he do Schindler's List and Lost World the same year? But he'd been doing Munich. He did, you know what I'm saying? So maybe he was kind of, okay, I don't need to do all the franchise stuff anymore, you know? But then he did Ready Player One, which is really strange. I mean, the guy's been all over the place. So it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening with his next job. Because Steven Spielberg is one of, if not the best director working today, right? I mean, you have to agree that he's got to be in the top 3, maybe top 2, maybe top. So remember when he thought he might be in the running for directing the new Superman movie? You mean, yeah. Slade's movie, etc. Hey, I made a fan edit called Batman Forever Neon Nightmare. Would you be interested in reviewing it? You can reach out to me on Twitter, or probably Twitter would be good. We're doing a different show right now, but I appreciate the interest. Maybe, possibly is the answer. Maybe. I mean, honestly, fan edits, I have to look and I need information about your fan edit before I just say, yeah, I'll do it. I like doing fan edits, but I also like doing fan edits that do something different with the subject material. Not just, hey, I took out this thing that I didn't like. Okay, but that's, I don't know. So maybe. But like I said, reach out to me on Twitter, you know, DM me on Twitter or something like that. Yeah, we'll talk. But James Gunn's Superman timeline may hint that Henry Cavill was doomed for longer than expected. And I wanted to talk about this. I will tell you more later. Sounds good. But yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting situation. He will review it for 4,000 slades, not a penny less. It's not true. That's not true. I don't take money for reviews or anything like that. I've never been offered money for a review. So, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say never, right? But that's not that. No, you don't need to pay me. I need to see what you've done. I'm not going to just say, yeah, I'm going to review it without knowing something about it. You could have made, you could have said there needs to be, the nipples on the bat suit. They need to be glowing purple throughout the movie. That's my big fan of it. And if I watch it and I say, hey, that made a lot of sense, then maybe, yeah, sure. Let's talk. But if I just need to see. I need to see. But anyway, let's get back to the show. This is what he said. I think there was some confusion being you said Superman Legacy was there before you and Peter came in. It was. I was hired to write Superman Legacy over 6 months ago. 6 months from February 19th, which is 2 days ago, would be August 19th. Interesting. Interesting, right? That's way before he was hired to be, the head of DC Studios. And I said August, right? So 6 months ago. Yeah, Wraith, have you ever thought of doing a stream? I think if you have, because I'll be honest with you, you have a very good speaking voice. But if you had interest, hey, let's do it. Let's get you going. If you don't, no big deal. But if you do, and maybe something's in the way, I say do the thing. That's the theme here at Order 42 is do the thing. You want to make a thing, do it. Don't put mental blocks in your way. Just do the thing. Right? Yes, Ricky. Unfortunately, we don't have a do the thing emote here. Over here at the YouTube. We do on Twitch. But I find it interesting. So the announcement and everything of Henry Cavill being back as Superman came out within days of the release date of Black Adam. And yet, James Gunn was hired to do the script for Superman Legacy 2 months prior. Here's what I think happened. And I've thought about this for a while. And I haven't... this could have been said already by somebody else. Wasn't said on a lot of the shows that things that I've seen or watched. But nobody said what I'm going to say. But it's pretty obvious to me. I feel like Warner was, before the DC Studios thing happened, and especially before Zaslav came in, they were literally throwing darts at a dartboard. They had no idea what was going to work. Who would have guessed that Batman versus a movie about Batman versus Superman would make less money than Wonder Woman? Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed that? I don't know. A lot of people would have bet against that. Who would have guessed that Puss in Boots, the new Puss in Boots movie, would make more money at the box office than Black Adam would? So anyway, what I'm trying to say here is that it's I really think that They let him announce that because the thought process was, if this movie does really well, of course, we'll still have Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam. We'll do a Superman movie with Henry Cavill because of the money. The money's there. If it made $1 billion, are you kidding? It'd be stupid not to, right? But it had nothing to do with what they were actually thinking about doing. One of the things that Robert Meyer Burnett said, again, I love Robert Meyer Burnett, so sue me, but he said something very interesting. He says it was 6 months ago that he started working on Superman Legacy. But the fact is, he'd been working with DC for quite a while. He did the Suicide Squad. He did Peacemaker. They probably were like, wow, this is great. This stuff is great. Anything else you want to work on? And he said, what about Superman? So he probably had a contract and involved for a much longer time. So I think that any time when somebody says, I can't believe you fired Henry Cavill, I don't think DC or Warner at the time had any intention of Henry Cavill coming back, unless, oh my gosh, look at all this on Twitter. Zack Snyder's Justice League, blah, 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 blah. Man, if we put Henry Cavill in the Black Adam movie, we're going to make $70 billion. And yet, unfortunately, there's a lot of loud people in the Zack Snyder camp, but there's not a lot of them because Black Adam didn't make that much money. Or at least that's the way they look at it. So, as far as they're concerned, there's no reason to even think about Henry Cavill after that. So it's weird. It's a weird thing, and it's unfortunate because I understand that, again, along with that is, Dwayne Johnson and Henry Cavill have the same agent. So they kind of help each other, you know what I'm saying? And if Black Adam and Superman were to fight in a movie, that would be great. That'd be a lot of money, more work for everybody. More. It would be great for everybody, right? And he was trying to help everybody. That would help his agent too, right? His agent would make more money. So there was everybody was standing to make something great, right? And they wanted to make something great. The problem is nobody went and saw it, or very few people went and saw it. And yeah, I mean that's just the truth. So I really think that you have to look, and I'm not saying that I'm not by any stretch trying to say that James Gunn is like this angel and that, he can't do anything wrong. And everything he's put his hands on, it's been great. I'll be honest with you. I didn't really like the Suicide Squad movie that much. I thought it was it was okay, but it wasn't great. I didn't really care for the Peacemaker show. I mean, it was fine. And yeah, it was kind of funny sometimes. I kind of wish they would just, okay, we get the fact that we're all ad-libbing and having a good time, but let's do a couple with, and they probably did. They probably did plenty. Okay, on this take, just go nuts. Just go nuts. And they went nuts. And then that's the one they took. And I'm sorry, but some of that did not need to go on for as long as it did in the show. Tighten up that script. Tighten up that thing. That's the way I look at it. I felt the show was padded with a lot of ad-libbing. I didn't like Guardians 2 as much as I liked the first one. But again, I think that James Gunn has the best intentions here. And I think that knowing as much of and being a super fan of DC as he is, hopefully we're going to get something that we can be, happy about, that, and he can be proud of and all that stuff. But we'll see. We'll see. This chair. I need to get a new chair. My tailbone hurts. My tailbone hurts, boy. Why am I talking like that? I don't usually talk like this at all. Anyway. I do stream, but actually I want to start a Mario Kart stream this Saturday if you're up for it. Message me on Discord. Wraith. Man, I'm telling you, all you guys, seriously, put your stuff in the Discord so we can all watch and support. Unfortunately, a lot of Leon and Jude streams, they start way too early for me because I get up later than that, for the most part. But yeah, let's support each other because that's what we're kind of a little community of people and having a good time. So yeah, if you feel comfortable, I know some people don't like doing that, but if you want to, seriously, you have my permission, and I would love to help support it, even if it's just giving you the place to put a thing. Puss in Boots was great, way better than Black Adam. See, I don't even know what Discord is or how to use it, but that's great, man. DM me on Twitter. Don't have Twitter. Get one of them. Well, Discord is basically a sort of a chat room. Are you still here, Oscar? I'm sure you are. I hope you are, because you didn't say bye. But what you can do is I just put the link, or I put the command, and Nightbot was kind enough to put the link in Discord. But yeah, you can click that link. You basically join the Discord. It's like you download the Discord app and you get basically chat rooms. And we have different places where we sit and chat. So there's like a general chat, and then there's a general movie chat, and then there's this chat, and then blah, 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 blah. There's all kinds of stuff. And you can just sit there and read it, or you can post to stuff. And in this case, if you had once you set up an account, you can DM with anybody in the Discord. And so like Shady J has a Discord server. And you can get the link. I'm sure you can get the link from his YouTube channel. And I don't know if the Game Chasers do or not, but I know Shady J is because I'm on it. And then 8-Bit Eric has one, and then Game Dave has one, and all the streamers that I watch, they have one. So it's just, it's just a way that the community of people can sit and chat without me having to be live. So anyway, watch like a YouTube tutorial about Discord. Help me figure it out. Here you go. So the link is there. If you want, click the link and bookmark it. You don't have to join right now if you don't want to. We're not going to, at least I'm not going to steal any of your personal information unless you want me to, in which case we gotta talk about this relationship we have here. But still, it's a fun thing. I think it's fun. Hopefully everybody thinks it's fun, and we post things and we make each other laugh, and Leon complains about things. But it's fun. It's fun. So I guess the only thing really left to talk about was and it's already 10 o'clock. It's already 10 o'clock. All right, bye guys. No, I'm just kidding. Star Wars. I just wanted to really quick, and this is one of those things. Magnus was here, or was in Discord. We were talking earlier, and he was like, "Hey, would you ever do a video?" Ricky, right? Okay, bye. Would you ever do a video about your favorite Star Wars movies? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe, yes, at some point. Possibly, sure. But my biggest issue right now is that talking about Star Wars is such a bummer. Because the thing is, I watched episode 7 and was like, okay. Honestly, I felt very similar about the prequels. Every time I saw a new prequel movie, I was kind of like, okay, all right. So the writing on the tick things, okay. That's what you all wanted to do, huh? All right. But then you had Jango Fett chasing Obi-Wan through the asteroids. That was cool. But the tick things, anyway. So that's kind of how I was after episode 7. Then episode 8 comes out and I go, okay. There's there's some things that were kind of cool, and some things that weren't. But for the most part, the things that it was like 7 was kind of mediocre. Episode 8 had amazing highs and incredible lows. But I felt like the highs outweighed the lows for the most part. I mean, look, I hadn't seen the movie in a while. And then episode 9 was like, it was like, what's his name? Chris Terrio came and rubbed his junk on the top of my glass. And I'm like, it tastes kind of like water, but do we need the funky smell? So basically, the Disney trilogy bums me out. So I don't like talking about it. But I do like talking about the future. I am excited. I am a positive person for the most part. I like talking about the future. I like because the future, what's great about the future is it could be anything. You know, it could be the best thing ever. It could be amazing. I remember watching the trailer for Rise of Skywalker thinking, oh yeah, there's no way the Emperor's just going to come back and be another character there. That wouldn't make sense. That wouldn't make sense at all. Because that would completely refute what happened at the end of Return of the Jedi. So there's no way that's happening. I was positive. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is we can talk about what's coming and what's possible, and that's fun. So, but because look, I'm a Star Wars fan, but the problem is, and talking Star Wars about, and people getting mad about, oh, the Last Jedi did this and then this one did that, and I don't care. Because honestly, The Rise of Skywalker ruined the other two movies. Anything that I liked about the other two movies, it kind of ruined everything. And now I just wish they didn't happen. I kind of, in a lot of ways, I look at everything that we've gotten so far, and Andor makes up for it. Like a lot. The Mandalorian made up for it a little bit, but Andor makes up a lot. But before Andor, I'll tell you this. Before Andor came out, if you said you have two options. You can continue with what we've got, which is we're not in a bad place. We're not in a bad place. We've got some ups and downs, right? Parts of Obi-Wan were amazing. Parts of Boba Fett were amazing. Parts were really not that great. Most of Mandalorian's been pretty good. But you have two choices. You can just continue the way it is, or you have the choice to completely wipe out everything Disney's done. Before Andor, I would have really had to think about that one. I would have had to think hard. That you could reset it, basically. Meaning, we literally go back in time to 2013, 2014 and start over. I would have had to think about that. Seriously, hard. But the future is fun, right? The future's fun. Andor is really, really good stuff. Season 2, being filmed as we speak. Don't know exactly when it's going to come out. Or maybe we do it, I just don't remember. But Star Wars Celebration is taking place in Europe, I believe, right? April 7th through April 10th. So what could we get? Now, we do know that Mandalorian Season 3 starts March 1st. So, of course, that'll be airing, as celebrations going on. We have on May the 4th. Remember, May the 4th be with you. I have a lisp. May the 4th be with you. So yeah, Star Wars for people with lisps on May 4th. Star Wars Visions Volume 2. Okay. Which, look, I like Star Wars Visions. I like Volume 1 quite a bit. It's not the best thing ever. It's not the best thing. But I actually, Revenge of the Fifth. Yeah, exactly. But I just, every time when someone, May the 4th be with you, it sounds like, what are you, Elmer Fudd or something? Or Sylvester. Sylvester, not Elmer Fudd. May the 4th be with you. Yeah, anyway. Star Wars Visions Volume 2 coming out May the 4th. Also, Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures animated TV series. Okay, so not for me. That's fine. Coming in 2023, these are solid. Supposedly solid. We've got the Ahsoka series. We've got Skeleton Crew. Right? Skeleton Crew is the show with Jude Law, and it's supposed to be like kind of like Stranger Things in space in Star Wars. Kind of is the way that it was kind of described. But that is by the director of the Spider-Man movies. The live action. Watts? Is that his name? Can't remember his name exactly. But that's the same guy. And of course, Ahsoka is being run, I believe, by Filoni and Favreau. So, yeah. So that's all that we know of, like, for sure, for this year. Wait a minute. Did you like the Family Guy Star Wars parodies? Yeah, they were okay, but I like the Robot Chicken ones more. I've always liked the Robot Chicken ones more. Family Guy, I was really into Family Guy for about 6 months, like super into it. And then it got old fast for me. I don't know. I attach a little Yoda on the bottom of all my paperwork on May the 4th. I'm a nerd. As you well should. On May the 4th, if I'm doing a show, we're bringing that bad boy out right there. That's right. Star Wars puppet. What are you going to do? That's actually from... Is that? That might be from a Blockbuster. I can't remember when I got it. But I've had it for years and years and years and years and years and years. And I know we had some at one point. But they also had them at Fry. So I can't remember if I bought them or if I just took one for Blockbuster. I say took one. I would have bought it. But yeah. But there's a lot of things that are supposed... Sorry. There are a lot of things that are supposedly in development. Okay? We're talking... to be determined. Let's do those first. To be determined. Andor Season 2. We talked about that. And The Acolyte. Those are already... Exactly, Ricky. That's... I mean, can you do my subtitles? My captions for my videos? Because that was perfect. That's perfect. But yeah, The Acolyte has already been filming. So that's coming soon. Now, in development, we've got... Again, in development means may never see the light of day. But they've already announced it. Because... Yeah. A Lando TV series, a Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie, Star Wars Rogue Squadron. Remember, Patty Jenkins came out and said, no. It was reported that this movie was dead. It's not dead. I'm still working on it. So that's still a possibility. It could still be dead, but that's what she said the last time that somebody talked to her about it, or the last time when she made that comment. And then the untitled Damon Lindelof, Charmin Obaid Chinoy movie. So Damon Lindelof written Star Wars movie. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking Damon Lindelof is the devil. I don't think so. But look, we're gonna disagree. We've agreed to disagree on certain things, right? The Fast and Furious movies may not be the greatest thing ever. Star Wars may or may not be the best thing ever. Whatever. I mean, there's all those kinds of things, right? There's all kinds of things we disagree on. To me, Damon Lindelof has shown that more times than not, he's got some really, really cool ideas. They don't always come to fruition. It's so funny because, like if you say, "Oh, I don't like if okay, okay. That was a bad example. That was a bad example. I'm just saying most of the time when somebody complains about a show or a movie, they usually complain about the director, right? Oh, I don't like Idiocracy because I'm not a fan of such and such. Whatever. Wasn't that Mike Judge? Anyway, I think he probably wrote it too. But in a lot of cases, most times the writer doesn't get blamed. J.J. Abrams gets blamed, right? J.J. Abrams gets blamed for Rise of Skywalker when really it's probably Chris Terrio doing a bunch of the crazy crap. David Lindelof gets blamed for Prometheus when honestly, and look, this is from a Ridley Scott fan. A lot of the stupid crazy crap that went down in that movie probably was because of Ridley. So I'm just saying. And I think The Leftovers was awesome, and I think Watchmen was awesome, and I think 95% of Lost was awesome. I actually like Prometheus, warts and all. So there's that. So yay, I'm a Damon Lindelof fan, and I don't care who says it, who knows it, and I don't care if anybody doesn't like it. I think he's done some really good work, and I like him. I've listened to him talk enough because I used to listen to the podcast, the Lost podcast. I've listened to him enough that I think he's an intelligent guy, and I don't think he's purposely trying to make something bad. I think he really is trying to make something good. And even then when he wrote when he wrote that Watchmen, basically like almost like, hey, I'm gonna do Watchmen and I'm gonna write this thing. And he wrote it and talking about his fandom, talking about how important it is for him to do a really good job and how he's really committed to making, this show the best that it can be. I was like, dude, I didn't need that, but now I'm really excited. And then, by the way, you hired Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross to do this. Dude, I'm down. Okay. So anyway, I'm hoping the Damon Lindelof thing is going to happen and it's going to be good. Here are these status unknowns. So we've got some, somebody's mentioned it. Somebody's talked about it, but we've got the Book of Boba Fett season 2. Is that going to happen? Don't know. Obi-Wan season 2 is a possibility. Ewan McGregor said, I'm ready to go back to work when somebody asked him about Obi-Wan season 2. So who knows? Possible. But just because somebody says they want to do something doesn't mean that it's going to happen. Kevin Feige has a Star Wars movie out there. We haven't heard jack about that one in a long time. The untitled J.D. Dillard, Matt Owens movie. I don't even remember what that one's about. What is that concerning? I don't even know. And then here's the possibly canceled to probably canceled. And then one is definitely canceled. Possibly canceled is Rangers of the New Republic. For reasons we've talked about many times. Somebody couldn't keep their mouth shut. Anyway, reportedly canceled. But recently the director said, or the director/writer said, yeah, it's still a possibility. Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy. And then definitely canceled is Benioff and Weiss's Star Wars movie trilogy, I think. So the thing is, look, we don't know what's coming. And there's a lot up in the air. So what? Are we going to get anything on Celebration? Does anybody think that we're going to get, say, a movie announcement on April 7th through April 10th? Does anybody think that? Why in the crap hasn't there been a Vader series yet? My thing, okay. See, and Oscar says Vader series or movie needs to be rated R. Hunt those Jedi. I'll be honest with you. I don't need that. I just don't. What I mean, seriously, if I had my way, and I rarely get my way, you know, they regularly take away things I like at Taco Bell. Okay. So I'm used to not getting my way. But I would really like for them to tell stories that have nothing to do with the Skywalkers. Either go forward in time, go backward in time, or just get out of the Skywalker's way. Just tell a story that's a good story. Tell a story that's on its own. Do it. Okay, go. Just do that. Why does everything... My problem is I'm so sick. Because here's the thing. Every time you do that, every time you say, oh, this movie's going to connect to this. Okay, well, now you need to make sure that it really connects to it and it connects to it well. Because otherwise you get things like, oh, I don't know, the rest of the canon that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? The freaking dude, J.J. Abrams broke some of his own canon in Rise of Skywalker. But why? Why do that? If you get far enough away from the existing stuff, you can tell a really, really fun story and you can go crazy. You can just do whatever the hell you want. You can, oh, sure, maybe leave a, oh, look, we're on Coruscant and look, there's the old Jedi temple. Oh, look at that. That's quaint, right? And you move on to something else, but you don't have to have everything connect. And for me, I'm so sick of them trying to do that and screwing up. So I'd rather them get away from Vader. The other thing too is I don't think the reason that they won't do a Vader series is because of exactly what you guys are saying. It's got to be rated R. It's got to be very violent. It's got to be very this. We're at Disney now. It's not going to happen. I just don't think it'll ever happen. The most intense we've ever seen Vader was probably in the Obi-Wan series, right? Him dragging a guy down the street and then casually breaking his neck. Probably the worst that we've ever seen Vader. We'd never seen him stab any of those kids. We just saw him light a lightsaber, right? You didn't really see a whole bunch. We saw a lot in Obi-Wan. And I think that's as far as we're ever going to get. And I would thank you if you would just stay away from him. So you can quit screwing up things. I honestly hate, I don't mind that they fought. Obi-Wan and Vader fought. I just can't stand the way that things were left. I can't stand it. Oh, well, you can't have Vader lose, or you can't have Vader win, or you can't have Obi-Wan lose, or Obi-Wan win. No. You could have done it. I could have done it. I'm sitting there watching it, and I go, oh, this is what they're going to do. This is what they're going to do because it makes sense to episode 4. Here's what's going to happen. And they didn't do it. And then I'm like, how did you not do that? When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. There's a lot of things. I'm not even going to go into it. I'm just saying, just please get away from Vader and get away from Skywalker. Get away from all that. Do your own thing. Got to go to work later, chat. Thanks, Rob. Oscar, sorry, I didn't see that you were leaving. Bye. I was complaining. But anyway, I just don't think that, I just don't think they're going to do that. They'll never do a hard R anything for Star Wars. I just don't think so. There's nothing in the existing canon that requires a rated R thing. Marvel, when Marvel kind of came into all this and then they purchased Fox, there was this thing called Deadpool that was already rated R. I guarantee you, if they hadn't made a Deadpool movie prior to Fox being sold to Disney, and then they said, oh, we're going to make a Deadpool movie, it would have been PG-13. No question. No question. They're never going to do a rated R or anything more than Obi-Wan. That's what I say. A Grievous Origins one-off. Grievous would be another fun one. There were 3 pre-Vader movies and 3 post-Vader movies. I mean, kind of, yeah. I like to keep some things a mystery and leave things to the imagination of the viewers. And yeah, in fact, to me, I feel like we've gotten too much Vader. You know, Rogue One, Obi-Wan. But it's hard to do, right? You're a company. You're a company, and Darth Vader's like the biggest star, the biggest character of any of the characters in all the movies. So yeah, it's hard to leave him be. But you need to leave him be now. Let's just go off and do something else. Do something else cool. That's just what I'm saying. I want to see something a bit lighthearted, maybe Max Rebo show where the band goes to different planets and get in the middle of various situations. I mean, that could be interesting. We don't need any more Star Wars or Marvel for at least like 10 years, but that will never happen. No, it won't. We're getting more Marvel. We're getting more Star Wars. It's going to happen. I would not be surprised if we got I wouldn't be surprised if we got release dates for Andor and the Acolyte. Possibly Lando, if that's still a thing. I haven't heard anything about Lando since they said, "Oh yeah, we're in development." Though doesn't mean it's like in development means a lot of things. If they're on set shooting, okay, now I'm excited because it's happening, right? That's why the Acolyte is exciting, because holy crap, we're actually getting it. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be any good, but at least they're making it. All of this other crap, none of it could happen. None of it could happen. It all depends on, I don't know, like Taika Waititi. That's a good possibility he won't ever do his movie. Rogue Squadron, we've talked about why that one might not be a thing. But yeah, I want more. I just want something different. And I want somebody, and I said this before, when Tony Gilroy, the showrunner of Andor, said, "I'm not really a Star Wars fan," I'm like, cool. Because guess what? You made the best Star Wars thing I've ever seen since... That doesn't make any sense. You made the best Star Wars thing that I've seen since Empire Strikes Back. We've had plenty of things made by Star Wars fans. Oh, what? Oh, so you just know how to make good quality shows or movies and things. Pfft. Who cares if you're a Star Wars fan? That's what I want. I don't care if you're a Star Wars fan. I care if you're a good filmmaker. That's what I'm interested in. I care if you're a good writer. That's what I care about. Which is also, I'm just gonna throw this out there. But when Mark Hamill said that he felt that this was not the Luke that, I fundamentally disagreed with every decision made from my character. I'm sorry, and I love Mark Hamill, but you're not the writer or the director. Just saying. Anyway. Wow, that probably pissed people off. If there's anybody still here. Sorry, I don't know. But look, here's the thing. I just want good things. I just want good stuff. And I would not be surprised if we got another series announcement. I wouldn't be surprised if we got at least 1, maybe 2 or 3, either updates to current things that are in development or flat out brand new stuff. I think this celebration, it needs to be kind of big, because guess what? Bob Iger's back. And you know what? He's probably looking at this and saying, why haven't there been any movies since I left? It's just all series. Where's all the movies? Get the movies going. Number one. Number two, the word on the street, and I'm trying to tell you a secret so that everybody over here can't hear it. Unfortunately, this is a mono mic and it's going out. It doesn't matter. Look, there's a good possibility that after Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny comes out, that we will hear about Kathleen Kennedy being on her way out. There's a lot of room for somebody to make a big splash. And there's a lot of room for somebody to, make their mark. Hamill. No, just to make their mark. I would love it. Oh my God, love it. If they decided to do something similar to what DC Studios or what Warner did with DC Studios. You hire someone who's majorly creative and big picture, big fan, all that kind of stuff. And then you got somebody like Kathleen Kennedy who's knows the business, knows the way that things work with the studios, is basically the big time producer of all of these movies. I would love that. Because it doesn't need to be one person. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. And I think DC Studios has it right. Or at least that idea right. That if you're going to run a studio like that, I mean, Kevin Feige is a very unique individual in that he can be all of those things. Super nerdy and super into Marvel and super into, the connected universes and all that kind of stuff. And he's good at the business, the corporate side of movie making. It's hard to come up with one person that can do that. For the longest time, we've had Kathleen Kennedy. And you can say what you like about Kathleen Kennedy. Movies have been successful. 4 out of 5 billion-dollar movies. Pretty good track record, right? One of them being in the top whatever of all time, right? Pretty good track record. But the fact is, she doesn't know how to make this connected thing. And she doesn't know how to ask for the correct things about it. And she knows... I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't know how many of those decisions were made outside of her scope. The decision to fire certain directors in the middle of pre-production or filming. Who knows? We don't know. We don't know for sure. She gets all the blame for it. But the truth is, Disney was treating Lucasfilm very differently than to how they treated Marvel. They did. And that is absolutely true. Anyway, who knows what we're going to get? I'm excited though. I hope you guys are excited. I have got to go because it's late and I'm tired and my back hurts. Can they get Lucas back? Hell no. Lucas wouldn't touch Star Wars again with Bob Iger's pull. You know what I mean? Not going to happen. I don't think he doesn't have the stamina to do that kind of thing. You know what I mean? I think he's glad that he's able to just chill, do George Lucas things and and laugh and do his thing. But anyway, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. I'm sorry that I basically went on a rant there at the end. I'm sorry. I should have been more, what do you call it? Ask more questions or something, but I got on a soapbox and I apologize. I need to stop doing that. Because that's part of what's great about doing a live show is you get feedback and you get, commentary and you have a conversation instead of just me going, yeah, this is what they should do. But anyway, you guys have a great rest of your week. And again, yes, we will see some of you Friday night for the old hangout. But you guys have a great one, a great week, and we'll see you on the next one or Friday, whatever comes first. So, bye.